Look, everything's really messed up today.
Oh dear.
Ladies and gentlemen, everything as usual is a feature, and these features are way out of control. It's not that bad, but it's bad. Welcome back to Dinner and a Game, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ray, and I am your humble host and purveyor of the madness. This is our... Oh, someone just showed up. Thank you very much, Courtney, for the follow. We just have our normal madness tonight, which means that we are doing our D&D 5e campaign, which is called Kingdoms of Mist. Now, Kingdoms of Mist is a homebrew game world that we are kind of creating together, kind of working out all the kinks of, as we pretty much are building this world as we go. I've written a lot of background for it. You can find that on our Discord page. If you would like to see that, you can find it here. And there's a lot of background information put up for that. But in the order, to save time and not make everyone have to listen to me speak for like 3 hours, we will just assume that if you want to know that information, you will go and find it really quick. And if you want to read it, you can do it a little bit later. But I have some amazing people on the show with me tonight. And for some reason, Rob's cam is missing.
It's okay.
That's okay. Oh, you're not going to be invisible. Give me a minute.
What if I don't want to be seen?
Then we really need to discuss why you're on a streaming channel.
I mean, you're already live on mine, sir, so you don't have a choice.
Fair.
There he is. And there's that. Yes, I found you. I'm putting you back in your rightful box. And then I'm sticking you in your rightful place. But tonight we are going to be down one person. It is Milagros' birthday, and her family is taking her out to dinner. Now, whether that means she's going to be gone for the entire night, or she's just going to be gone for a little bit and miss some of the show, we don't know. And frankly, Milagros, we don't care. You have a good time. You enjoy your birthday. If you make it in, you make it in, and we appreciate it. If you don't, you get presents. And so, in the meantime...
Wait. If I leave, that means I get presents?
No, only if it's your birthday.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about that. Because a nap is definitely calling my fucking name tonight.
Yes, I know. RJ is tired, everyone. And not only is RJ beautiful, but he's grumpy. So, you know.
Grumpock.
No, grumpy.
Grumpy fuck.
Now we know where the inspiration for the name came from.
Just put it together off the top of my head.
So, if you want to follow, speaking of grumpy, if you want to follow either one of our mad gentlemen from Obliviously Adventurous, they have their own shows that they run on Facebook. You can find the link to their Facebook adventures here. They have a D&D live show that they also run, and they stream most days playing different games. Today they were streaming Oxygen Not Included, and apparently Rome managed to keep everyone alive. So
Pretty rare.
Nice.
And also, we have some other great creators from the lab, Experiments in Gaming. Rob, what are you guys doing this week on the lab?
Oh, that is a great question. We are doing a tourney night, whatever that means, tomorrow.
Whoa. That sounds fun.
It does sound fun. So I think we're playing, like a couple random games, and not sure if those are purely TTRPGs or what it involves.
I hear tourney night, and I'm thinking like it's a combat night of the party basically beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
That's glorious.
It definitely does sound cool, and I hope that is the case, but I don't honestly know. I didn't set that show up. And then on Friday we are doing Follow, I believe.
Oh yeah, Follow's gonna be Friday. That's the game I discovered you guys playing.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of my favorites. It's fantastic.
Yep, it's a very cool GM-less system, very story-driven, and it can be anything you want it to be, literally.
Yep. And purely characters just creating collaboratively telling a story. Sorry,
Yep.
I can't talk.
Yep, that's all right. You don't need that. You're only playing an RPG tonight. You'll be fine.
Perfect.
And also,
What RPGs are you playing where you don't need a story? Like, you have a list taller than I am of fucking lore for this series. And your players are still running on different RPs than...
Of course they are.
Fucking glorious.
We just
Hopefully not. That'd be really... No way we're selling that one. Wow. Anyway, also, speaking of amazing creators who have their own creations, Sphinx, what is your schedule like for this week?
Oh man. Well, usually I'm here on Wednesdays playing Kingdom of Mist with you fine people. I'm also usually this week. This week I would be playing Agents of the Circle, but on Fridays, it's every other Fridays usually. But we're off this week.
You got a bunch of people at Gen Con?
Yep, bunch of folks at Gen Con, and which also brings me to our Saturday night game, or not Saturday night game, Saturday afternoon game, Heroes Arc, which I'm also playing in, which is also off for the week because Gen Con.
Yep.
And then eventually, right here on this channel, I am also a part of a World of Darkness open world game, which is going to be fun, where I am playing a mage, and that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm super excited about it.
Yep. Currently our cast consists of 1 mage, 2 fairies, and 1 werewolf.
Yep.
That's it, right?
And a vampire.
Oh, and a vampire, who is currently at Gen Con.
Can't forget the vampire, because the vampire is the mage's best friend.
Yeah, right.
have that confirmed.
did you did? Excellent. Yep. Yeah. So Ivy Shadow, who has her own Twitch handle of Game Raider Girl, and she's on the Lark Network, and she's on Ice Cream. Oh my God, Ice Cream Sandwiches. Ice Cream Sandwiches is actually doing the main table at Gen Con this week.
No way.
Yes, and they're going to be on the main stage doing their live stream this week.
That's amazing.
So, and Ivy's going to be up on main stage at Gen Con, so it's going to be
That's
pretty
super
cool.
That's the dream.
Oh, absolutely. But yes, please tune in. We're going to be starting it. We're not going to be starting the World of Darkness game for a couple of weeks. We're being very detailed in the setup and the build out. We're working everything out with the character interaction, and because it's very complicated, because in the World of Darkness, all the different supernaturals really technically hate each other. So we're being really kind of meticulous with the backgrounds and everything for this world, because we want to make sure we don't get too Deus Ex Machina with how we make this work.
Yeah.
All right. And also, remember, folks, if you can help us out, we're trying to get to 1,000 followers here on Twitch. And when we do that, we are going to be giving away a lovely, lovely prize. I left it over there. But we're going to be giving the box set of the D&D core books, which have the...
You might as well keep them on your desk at this point.
Oh, no, I was cleaning my desk, and I put them over by my TV, and then I forgot to grab them again.
You're like, hey, they should just move from one section of your desk to the other section of your desk, and then back to the proper section of your desk.
I'm glad you think my desk is so huge, because this is big. This is big. This is my giant head, and this is the box bigger than that. But it has...
Are you sure?
Yes, it is bigger than my head. Thank you very much.
I don't know.
I understand the joke. I got it. I have a big head.
That's not for me to judge, sir.
Thank you very much. I understand.
Amazing.
But we have the player's guide, the monsters manual, the DMG, and you get a DM screen in the package. They are foil embossed covers, so they do not look like standard books. You will not mistake them for any of your friends' books. They come with this badass slipcase. We will be giving that away when we hit 1,000 followers on Twitch, and when we hit 100 followers on YouTube, we'll be giving another set away there. So, yes. So if you want to find our YouTube channel, and you want to find, well, obviously, you found us here on Twitch. But if you find any of our socials, any of our links, go to YouTube to follow us there to be entered into the contest twice. Because you can be entered twice. go ahead and use our link tree. Find all of our links. Follow us on all our socials. We really appreciate the aggrandizing of our already giant egos. But but anything you can do to help out the show, we greatly appreciate. But let's get down to the madness at hand, shall we? We left off last week, and the players are playing in a world called in a game called Kingdoms of Mist, which is set in a world that basically kind of replicates Treasure Planet. Except instead of technology, it's all magic-based. They are on a planet called Elatras. They are in the capital city called Ayla. They were investigating a lot of odd happenings that were going on, and the main god in this world is named the Mist Mother, and she had been getting quieter and quieter and harder for her followers to contact, and also there had been a lot of unsettling things happening regarding creatures that normally aren't seen here because the Mist Mother doesn't allow a lot of extra planar contact. So, because of that, they're asked to investigate some items by the College of Wizards, the Arcane, and they basically stopped a ritual, brought the evidence back. Then they're going to be teleported into the manor house of one of the characters, Utopia, of her father's manor house, because they had discovered that her father's family has basically a link to some devils through a pact of some kind, which should also not be happening because devils technically shouldn't be able to access this realm. And so they were going to go back and confront him. The College of Wizards went to teleport them, and instead they discovered themselves several blocks away and 3 months in the future. And all hell had broken loose. There were devils running all over the city. People were locked up in their houses. There was
dogs and cats living together,
Yep.
mass hysteria.
Yep. And so...
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
That's all right. That was perfect timing on that one. So they went through the whole they went through and they got themselves out of trouble. They discovered that there was a bunch of people hidden in a safe house nearby. And they discovered also that Aeom's master was also in that house, helping these people hide and basically kind of running a small, not really a rebellion, because I don't know if you could call it even a war, but she was basically helping people hide, and they decided that they were going to go take this opportunity to finish their idea of checking on the Utopia's parents' home, and they went and did that and discovered that Utopia's father was no longer, and they cleared the house of the devils. Then they brought all these survivors and brought them onto the grounds to try and give them a larger, safer place to defend themselves from. And where we left off is they had just gotten through policing all the dead bodies from inside the house, putting everyone onto a pyre for a proper funeral. And at I guess you'd say near the end of the funeral ceremony, they decided to summon a would-be ally. Sphinx, as character Val, had taken on the Mark of the Emerald, which is a notorious criminal organization in Ayla. But he had taken on the Mark, which would allow him to use a boon to contact and summon a representative of the Emerald in order to basically ask for a favor. So they heard that the Emerald was still alive, that the Emerald is part of trying to fight against the takeover by all these extraplanar beings, and they decided that since the link was still apparently working and or intact on Val, they decided to try and use it. And they summoned him, and he showed up, and it looked like they had summoned him directly from a fight. And that's where we wrapped up last week. Oh, this one's a little bit better off, but it's still messed up.
So, purely curious, for story's sake, how are we going to retcon her talking to her dad?
Well, she didn't say she was going to do that directly, did she? She said she
Not
wanted
in game, but in Message, yes.
I didn't see.
But if we pass too long, that spell won't work, and that I don't want to do that without her.
Milagros says, "Let me in."
Let her in.
Well, then call one of us, lady.
She probably still doesn't know how VC works.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that one out.
Oh, shoot. Someone...
I'm calling.
Okay, thank you. Malagos is let me in!
I guess that answers my question.
There you go. Now we don't have to worry about it because Malagos will be here. Oh, I'm not going to bother to adjust any of these cameras.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you!
Day.
Happy birthday to Malagos!
No, please don't sing it.
I wasn't gonna sing it.
It's too late. I sang
That's all,
it.
Ray.
I sang
Thank
it.
you.
I sang it already. It's too late.
Can you unsing it?
I can. I know how. No, I don't. Never mind. No one does. I'll leave that up to Sphinx. He's the musician. He'll figure it out.
Eventually. Might not happen tonight, but I'll figure it out.
You have to figure out how to reverse happy birthday because it's kind of like a curse. So she'll get younger and lose the birthday.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I already feel old.
Oh my gosh!
Like, no, not okay. Like physically, like I have like problems.
All the people whose bones are creaking right now, and who, when they get up out of their chairs on break, will go, "Ugh!"
No,
are
like,
looking at you
literally.
like, "Why? Why did you say that? Why did you remind us about how young you are and how close to death we are?"
Okay, but I didn't get to feel young. I got chronic back pain when I was 11. I hit 6th grade and my spine was like, I'm heading out. And I was like, dude, I still need you.
We got 80 more years at least.
Literally.
His spine's like, nope. I'm done. I'm out.
11? That's like 2 digits. We're done.
You don't understand. We didn't sign on for this.
It's like by
do you
the
mean?
nature of your existence, you signed on for this. Yeah, man, but I didn't know this is what it meant.
Didn't know I was gonna have to do my job. What the fuck?
This is like a Roman Polanski film. I'm out.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
You can survive without a spine, can't you?
I mean, all I technically need for my career is my hands.
Technically.
Don't need leg.
We need the spinal cord at least.
Yeah,
Very rare.
need to be able to think. I believe.
You need your medulla oblongata.
Yes.
All right, so we were just finished summing up. So great timing,
Perfect.
and once I hope your birthday dinner was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was. We got dim sum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna dim some roleplay tonight. That was horrible. I'm gonna go
That
to hell.
was-
I'm going to hell. That is nothing.
Go somewhere.
No, there's no.
Somewhere for that one.
That's. There's no defending that. That was just. That was.
I know it's supposed to be dinner and a game,
Yeah, I know.
but you don't turn the dinner into the game.
No. Okay,
Facts.
okay. We're gonna pretend that never happened. Everyone ready? Pretend.
happened.
Damn it, RJ!
I heard it. It happened.
RJ, man! What the
Wasn't
hell?
me this time.
I know. The knife handle is like way in the middle. I can't reach it.
Oh wait, I
Alright,
wish
shots.
this.
No.
I wish this session would have been 22 because that's how old I'm turning today. That would have been perfect.
Oh, 22. Let's see what happened. What happened? Wait. What happened when I turned 22? I gotta look this up now. What was 22? 18 was 89, so that's plus blah blah blah. So 2001.
Oh my god.
That's always hilarious.
Oh my god. That was my first full year as a human being.
2001? Jeez,
Yeah.
I turned 22 in 2003?
You're that.
Bro, that's when my sister was born, and she's 18 now.
Nothing cool happened.
Oh,
It's like okay. Nope.
Other than Milagros' birthday.
Other than Milagros' birthday. Well, then that makes it the coolest day.
I'm trying to think of like movies at least. Like,
Well, aside from the movies that happened, and aside from everything else, you know what else happened? You were born.
Well, I was born in
Indeed.
'99.
But on this day.
When I graduated high school.
Donnie Darko. Came out in
Oh,
2009.
cool! That's a good movie.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that in forever.
I know.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen Donnie Darko?
It's a cult classic.
Yep.
Really? Okay. I'll put it on the list.
But it's a cult classic because it starts cults. So
There's also
Lord of the Rings. I think the Fellowship of the Ring came out that year. The
You're
film.
right.
did it? Ooh.
that. Oh yeah.
So there's some Insta Geek cred for you just on your year of birth.
There you go.
So, if, Malagos, do you remember where we were last session?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we don't have to recap it for you. So, oh God, what was his name? Oh my God, I just forgot his
Marcus?
name. Marcus. So Marcus, like I said, he showed up. He looks tattered. He's wearing armor. He's got a sword. Well, he's wearing light armor. He's got a sword in one hand. He's got a wand in the other hand. He kind of like it was in a crouch, like he was in a fighting position stance. And you guys, and it sends up, and he like I said, he turns to you guys and he says, "You all have the absolute worst timing ever." And he kind of
I look at him and I say, well, looks like you've been having a time of it.
looks at you and he flicks ichor off of his blade. And he wipes it on his. He takes it and he wipes it on his cloak, which looks like basic rags. And he sheaths it, and he says, "Where am I?" And he looks around. Oh, never mind. I know where I'm at. He says, "Debt is a debt. What do you need?"
We are hoping to get, and I kind of gesture to the people who are not us, strewn about the grounds. Just help getting some friends out of town.
He kind of looks at you and looks over there. He's like, "That's like 40 people."
Yes, it is.
First things first. Where have you been for 3 months?
Caught in a time vortex.
A what text?
We stepped through a portal. There was a weird mishap. We were only supposed to have been gone maybe 2 seconds, and it was 2 seconds for us. Wound up being 3 months for everyone else. Chronomancy. It's a fun time.
The last thing I knew, the last thing I followed, you guys were on campus at the Arcanum.
Yep.
It says you were in the third tower.
That's correct.
He says, "I couldn't get anything more exact because of all the warding on the third tower." He
Sounds
said,
about right.
He said, "But then the tower blew up and all hell broke loose."
Yeah, that happened pretty much at the same time we stepped through the portal.
I think that's a really accurate depiction because literally devils were showing up.
True.
Okay. Yep.
But it's not just devils. Things are showing up from the Shadowfell and moving around on their own. He says things are showing up from the Feywild. He said things are showing up from the elemental planes. All the blocks are off.
Well, that's fun.
And no one can contact the Mist Mother to get her to stop it.
Yeah, we've been having some trouble there as well.
He says there are portals just rip open randomly. People get sucked through them. Things are coming into this realm from them. He says, but some of them aren't random. A lot of them aren't random.
Yeah. Well, we've got it on good authority that name. Hang on, I've got it right here. That Mistress Foresight is being held and it has been made a part of the summoning process that opens these weird fucking portals. And by part of, I mean unwillingly, as in there's apparently a spike through her in the middle of a spell circle that is fueling the thing.
I understand. He says, Lady Forsyth is, if you couldn't guess, is not exactly mortal.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Oh, there's no way.
So, I was in the middle of the latest incursion that we were attempting to stop that portal. That portal is why the devils are ruling supreme. That portal,
Altruistic of you, Marcus.
it's not altruistic. The emerald does not live without Ayla. And Ayla has been torn apart.
There are other cities.
It's not quite that easy. It's not as simple as that, I'm afraid. The Emerald Claw has been a staple in Ayla for long before I was born. Well, not Emerald Claw, sorry, the Emerald.
Emerald. I was like,
mixing
He's-
settings,
he's renaming my organizations.
It's only 2 words.
The Emerald has been a part of Ayla since before I was born. Quite a ways before that. It's not so easy as just picking up and leaving. You and I can pick up and leave. They would pretty much have to end and start from scratch, which is no small feat.
He says, we have been able to hold the fish wharf. That's it. We've lost every single other holding we had.
Hells.
We've lost 3/4 of our people. He says, this was the last incursion we were going to attempt to try and stop the portal. He says, the Seacast has been outfitted with cannon and has been set as the last resort we're putting out to sea. And he kind of looks at you, Aomi, says, and we're leaving.
You, at this, I assume by this point, the ceremony for the pyre has wrapped up.
Oh,
right?
yes. They didn't do this until, like, you were already
There we
nearly
go.
done with... They didn't start this until you were almost basically done with the ceremony. Because they were being respectful during the ceremony.
I gotcha. I'm just making sure that I can finish what I'm doing before.
Yes. Absolutely.
So Grandpa kind of, opens his eyes after doing what he did to send these souls on, and notices that Marcus is there, because I didn't notice him summoned or any of that. You look rather blood-drenched, Marcus. It is nice to see you again.
So he kind of looks up at you and he's like, yes, it's good to see you as well. You do not look blood-drenched, which means you haven't been in town long.
Your sword is still dripping blood. Did you need help?
He says, we were on a mission when I was jerked away and brought here.
I will repeat, do you need help?
He says, I don't know if you all are the best for the job we were doing. It involves stealth and subtlety.
You are covered in blood, sir.
I didn't say we weren't going to kill anyone. I just said we were going to do it quietly.
So when it goes not quiet, you would have backup.
We
We
have...
are rather skilled in our crafts.
He says, I would greatly appreciate help if we can make it back there in time. He says, I can make it back there because I have the ability to utilize the last of the energies in that mark to return me back to one summoned. It says, you will have to run all the way to the Arcanum.
So, meta knowledge, how far is that from where we're at?
It is like almost. It's up in. Remember, the Arcanum is on one of the fingers, and you are at the. You're in the palm, so you would literally have to go halfway across the city to get there. And it is a long. It's a long trek on foot. You could take the cart, and it would reduce the time by half, but then you'd be very obvious.
Well, by that point, they don't need subtlety from us.
Yeah.
Right.
So walking, it would take you probably close to 45 minutes to an hour ish, and that's not being careful. That's like hoofing it and not giving a damn who sees you. And moving stealthily through the city, it would take you hours to get there.
That is not going to work.
We have a horse and a carriage.
That would take you about a half an hour to get
very
there.
loud.
Yeah, but that would you're
it's
not
a slaver's cart. We might be all right.
unless
That's
something.
true.
Marcus kind of says unless something stops by for a snack,
Also,
and you have
that's
nothing
right.
to offer it.
I'll turn to Marcus. Do you have any suggestions?
Marcus says, I don't have any direct suggestion for how you can get there faster. I can tell you that I appreciate the offer. I have backup already, but I've seen you work. I understand your capabilities, and I would appreciate any help you can get. If you have a way to get there quickly and quietly, then I would appreciate it more.
I have seen you move more than yourself through your portals.
I am saving my energies for when I get to where my destination is. He's kind of pats the sword. He's like, that's why I'm actually using this rather than my abilities.
Take mine.
Take your what?
Take some of my energy.
It's like, it doesn't really work like that, but... He says, you have asked for a payment of debt. This is what you can do. If this mission fails, we are expected back by dawn. If the mission fails, the CCAS puts out by high morning. He says, and all that means is when the sun is fully up in the sky, above the horizon and fully in the sky, the CCAS will cast off and head out. He says she is prepared to defend herself. She has slightly more than a skeleton crew, but all of them are armed to the teeth. He says, what remains of our family and our friends are on board. He says, if you wish to go, he says, you must get your people to the fish docks. If you cannot get them there by that time tomorrow morning, they are going to leave no matter what if they do not hear from us. And he says, and to make you understand what that means for us, he says, we are going to take care of Lady Forsyth.
Well,
And hopefully
that was on our list of things to do anyway, so...
He says, well, we're there to make sure that no matter what happens, that portal is closed.
I have a question.
Yes.
We got one of those tabby coins off of a shadow person. I haven't seen any of the cabs running, but would it still work? He
Let
had
me
it for a reason.
see the coin.
I have two of them actually.
You have the original coin, right?
I
Yeah.
have the one from the original, and I have the one that Marcus gave us for one of his.
He says,
Oh, wow.
Marcus says, mine won't function because the cabbie is probably dead or long gone.
We do
Got
have
from one of
a
the
new
shadow
one.
people, didn't
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see it.
Hand it to him.
He takes it. He holds it in his hand. He turns it over. He's like, it's light. He says, he kind of like he's wearing a backpack. It's a very small one, but he's wearing a backpack. Kind of swings the backpack around. He opens it up, and he brings out what looks to be a jeweler's goggle, and he kind of puts it in his eye. He seats it in his eye, and he kind of like squints. He starts looking through it. He's holding it out, and he's like, "This is an odd variation of the cabbie coin. It summons something. And it'll give you limited control over whatever it summons. I'm assuming it summons something that can get you around the city." It's just, I just don't know what it is. And he kind of hands it back to you. He's like, but that coin will give you limited control over it, so I'm assuming you can tell it to go to one place.
Okay. I think we've found our method of transportation then.
He says, I am glad that, I hope that works. I don't know what that is. He says, I can tell you that it is not natural. It's not one of the coins that the cabbies give out. It's not one of the coins that we designate that I've created or I've had created. He says, but it will command something for a short period of time. I just don't know what you're going to be summoning. He says, in the meantime, your debt will be honored as long as you can meet those conditions. He says, if you can't meet those conditions, then the debt is no longer honored, which means we still owe. But also know and understand that if those conditions can't be met, I will probably be dead. And if there's anything left of the emerald, they will continue on the debt. It says,
Well,
is there
I don't know
anything
the
else?
rest of the emerald. I know you, and I trust you to a degree. You've been more than generous with your time and with your aid. And
While you're talking, he's not necessarily ignoring you, but he's looking around and he's like, how long has it been since you took this place?
I had looked to everyone else. It's like it's been what? A couple of days?
Couple of days.
A day.
It's been a day.
Yeah, about a day.
Yeah, it's been 1 day. Like we came in,
Full day.
we cleared it. No, this would be the
Second day.
night. This would be the second night.
Yeah, it's on evening. He says, did you know the significance of this? And he kind of looks directly at Utopia.
I'm not sure about anything right now.
It says, you know your family had previously had some involvement, and that your father was doing everything he could to change that.
Yeah, we just found out a lot of that.
Yeah.
It says, we found out a lot of that when we encountered your father during his attempt to end the pact.
Really?
Yes.
When was that?
About 3 weeks into the initial attacks. He contracted the Emerald to come back with him into the manor to help him find the pact and to break the pact in the only way he knew how.
Destroying the document, right?
See, you haven't had time to do the research.
No.
The document has to be erased
Oh.
in the blood of the pact.
Oh, that's what the... Oh.
And the entire document has to be erased.
Oh my god.
he was contracting us to kill him and use his blood to wipe the pact.
Well, that gets better and better.
It's the only way he knew of to erase the entire pact.
Oh,
But the team that went in with him never made it back out, and we never saw him again.
no, he's in the crypt now.
Grandpa
should
kind
be.
of looks over at the pyre. Well, they had a proper burial, my friend.
He says, there was probably some of my men in that, but they guaranteed their families made it onto the Seacast. And said, in the meantime, I must get back. My men have probably moved a great distance away from our original position, so I'm going to have to catch up with them. He says,
Right. Well, with any luck, we'll see you there.
remember, when the sun is fully in the sky, they cut lines and they run. Make sure you're there in time. It's like, I don't know what organizations you need to make. He says, but I will tell you this. You're going to have to travel through the city at night. And that is, at best, risky. At most, and more probably, lethal.
It's always something.
It's always something. It says, be safe. And he kind of sticks out his hand to you, Val. And he says,
I take it.
He kind of shakes your hand. And he says, told you should have come to work for us. It's like, but hindsight's 20/20.
It's certainly something.
It says, in the meantime, until you make it to the ship with your people, there will be residual magic in that mark. If you cannot make it to the docks, then you will not have fulfilled your portion of the negotiation. If we leave without you there, we will not have fulfilled ours. So there will be partial magics in that will allow you to regain contact with someone from the Emerald. If we exist.
Good to know.
Hey, Marvelous.
Oh,
Marcy's on.
my God.
So, but yes, he says, just do your best. He says,
We always do.
he says, yes, that's why we know we can count on you. And he says, in the meantime, remember one very important thing. It's not just dangerous at night because it's dark and because the devils run. It's because the night is when the Shadowfell rules the city.
He
says,
okay,
so
then.
you cannot trust the shadows.
I will nod, and we will do our best to be vigilant.
Says, and then he kind of looks around and he kind of like makes a gesture with his hands and brings his hands down to a cross, and he says, he mumbles something under his breath, and he just winks out in an emerald glow.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you all are in the courtyards, and this conversation basically happened kind of around that funeral pyre, which is in the southern portion of the courtyard. What is your next steps?
I think we should just start organizing people. Talk to Shy. See about organizing some kind of path to get to the docks, so that at the very least they can make it onto the ship.
Well, grand total there is around. He was a little bit high on his estimate, but there's close to 30 people here. There's about a dozen children of varying ages. There is probably close to there's probably half a dozen able-bodied men fighter types who are with them. There is also the Shy herself. Then there's the few members of the household staff from your father's household that actually made it out. And then there's the stragglers that have trickled in as everything as as people just managed to survive in the day-to-day in the city and found each other. So all that total out equals out to around about 34 people.
Okay.
That large a group is going to be very hard to hide.
Right.
And so, what type of plans are you guys thinking of for trying to move that big a group of people through the city? Especially if what Marcus said is true, that also means that the one thing that's most powerful in this city during that time period is also the thing that has no problem seeing in the dark.
Right.
Yeah.
So, he said that they're basically leaving at high noon.
No, not high moon. He said the moment the sun is fully in the sky from the morning. So that means it's basically high morning is what is the nearest thing you can call it. So what that means for you guys is probably around 9 a.m.
Okay. And how long would it take for us to, say, walk from where we are at the manor to there?
With proper conditions, and if the lifts are still working, it would only take you. So it's from where you remember the Seacast. It's off of the finger called the ring, which is basically the ring finger on the hand, and that finger is basically. It's pretty much about an hour to get to where the lifts are.
Okay.
Excluding the lifts, how far?
Probably a day, because you'd have to walk out of the city, go down the cliffside to where you can cut back and walk up the beach.
Hell.
Your only hope is the lifts are still working.
And if the lifts are fucked, we're now stranded in the middle of the city.
Oh, even worse, you're stranded on a finger. That means cliffs on either side of you and only one way on or off.
We could check the coin.
Checking the coin is probably a good idea.
I mean, I could fly a little in a pinch. I might be able to.
You can carry maybe one other person with you, and I think it only lasts a minute.
Yeah.
Like hop everybody up and down. Do some cliff jumping.
Jeez.
I'm trying, okay?
2, 3.
She's trying to come up with a solution.
I'm trying to come up with something like.
I don't have any spells that would be of use here.
Sorry.
It's all right.
No, we also haven't rested yet, so we don't have 7 spell slots anyways.
How many spell slots are y'all down?
3 of my high tier. So
Yeah, I'm down 6 spell slots.
Yeah.
I have
I mean,
one.
you threw us against 4 people last session, and going right back into basically you're going to suffer a point of exhaustion because you're not going to be able to sleep, and you're and you know was
I've got a couple because I didn't use very many, but
Before we make the... What do you do? The note's glitched. Before we make, like, the plan to head out, could I speak to the Seneschal?
Yeah.
Because I remember I think it was near the end of the last session, he was like, we need to talk. And
That's when he dumped all the stuff about your dad on you, remember?
Yeah, but I feel like there was... Wait. I don't know. I feel like there was something else.
I gave you the option to talk to your dad. You were going to sleep on it, and then we're not sleeping, so.
and it's technically her uncle.
Yeah, right. I hate this. Okay, so we yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be very coherent, right? So I don't know. That just seems kind of mean.
Well, why wouldn't he be coherent?
I mean, I don't know what the spell entails, but like.
I mean, he's dead.
Yeah,
so.
No, he's like super dead, like extra dead.
It doesn't really give them a choice about whether or not. It doesn't really give them like this. It doesn't make them incoherent, but they do have a choice about whether they answer.
It comes out muttered. So I think the way it is, it's answers are supposed to be like brief, cryptic, or repetitive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they're under no compulsion to tell the truth.
Yep.
Oh.
But he's a relative of yours, and he's not a foe, so there's no reason to lie either.
I guess, and since like we are like, in that case, I want to at least try and like put him inside one of the sarcophagi, because we're not going to be able to do everything properly because we got to go, and I don't just want to leave him there.
Well, that's not a huge ask. You've got several guys around here, including like some of the ones that Shy had working for that could help you move the sarcophagus lid and inter your father properly, and then make sure it's sealed. So that would only take a few minutes to do, honestly.
Then I want to do that now rather than later.
Okay. So remember, it's still early-ish evening. It's full dark, but it's still early-ish because you guys did the whole raid and everything like that in the morning, and moved everyone over, and the fight didn't happen until the last move, which probably wasn't even that late, and then everyone else has just been getting acquainted with the city, with the estate, and you guys have been setting up for the funeral pyre, which did take a long time, even with help, getting all the bodies out of the building and laying everyone out respectfully and building out the pyre and everything like that. Well, Grandpa had already done most of the work on building the pyre, but getting everyone situated and everything like that took a while. So it's early evening at this point. Like the sun's just fully gone down, and so it's dark, but you've got hours to go before dawn. Hours and hours.
I mean, there's no way to check if the lifts are working, right? Not from here.
The only way you can check is divination magics. Someone who could see over distance.
I do not have anything like that.
Yep.
So at a run, how long would it take to hit a lift?
At a full-on, flat-out, like not a sprint, of course, but a strong run where you're not really pulling. You're just making sure you're not completely exhausted when you get there.
Yeah.
A strong runner could probably make it there in half an hour. Because the two problems are you're running almost consistently uphill, and if anything targets you, then that's out the window.
What is Sorry, I don't know your spell. What is Anari's range?
1 mile.
One. So before she vanished, or yeah, before she vanishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's a mile.
It's 100 feet where she loses communication with you. Something like 1,000 feet is like the maximum distance, and then there's something about a mile. I can't remember it all off the top of my head.
Let me see if it's in the Find Familiar spell.
My amazing encyclopedic knowledge does have its failings.
I'm going to.
I mean, I'd be willing to run it.
It doesn't say.
You guys are having this discussion out loud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shy comes walking up and she says, I could do it faster.
Aeon just sort of grins.
Oh.
She says, if you're looking for someone to get there quickly, I can move amazingly fast. Even to the point...
Tag win.
She says... She kind of chuckles. Says, even to the point of possibly being able to outrun things that fly.
That's impressive.
But can you see in the dark?
She's like... She kind of gestures to her eyes like, I can barely see. She says, but...
What benefit is it for you to run helter-skelter through the dark if you cannot see where you are going and what?
She kind of looks up. She's like, "It's not an overcast night." She's like, "There's plenty enough light from the stars and the moon to be able to maneuver through the city." She says, "The only thing I'll have a problem with is if I actually encounter anything and I have to fight."
2 days ago, you were terrified of the dark. What has changed?
She's like, "I wasn't terrified of the dark. I had people to protect, and I still do."
The clarifying spell. There's no distance.
Yeah.
For your familiar, you only can communicate at 100 feet. So they can go as far as they want and come back within that 100 feet range.
Yeah.
So Inari could make the run there, but can't tell you until she's back at the manor.
Yeah. And I'd have to spend an hour to resummon her because she was moited in combat.
She was moited. I killed a fox. I am a horrible person.
Killed my poor fox.
That may, if she goes to check, that may be our only other option.
That's another thing. If I run there, I have to run back. So there is, I can't really do a report. She says, it's going to be difficult to have that, that's 2 hours. Roughly.
If it would take a strong runner a half hour to get there, and you are much faster than I, how is it going to take you 2 hours?
My time to get there, then time to look around and ascertain everything, and then time to get back. And I am allowing for the concept that I'm trying to get back alive, so I may have to hide at times.
Doesn't leave us much time to prepare, but it also doesn't leave us trapped.
What if we start moving and send someone ahead? and then if something happens, we could change direction, but we wouldn't just be waiting here.
Also, has there been any word or sign or anything from Kel?
She says, we took all the people out of the house. If he's coming, he should be coming soon. If he's actually gone to the house, because it's dark. It's getting on full dark. If he's not going to be, if he's not here in the next 10, 15 minutes, he says he's probably holed up somewhere. He won't try and... His escort, I mean, I gave him 2 people. He knows better than to try and run the street with basically no help.
Fair.
She says, I can send someone out to look for him. That's the only other thing we can do. I said, I think that's too much of a risk anyway. She says, this fire is a risk. She says, it's a beacon. He says, but... It's what needed to be done.
If the beacon is here, it's probably safer for you running.
There's that. Right about then, Mr. Estes comes up, that older gentleman, and he comes walking up and he says, what is... He says, are we... We've prepared food. He says, if you would all like to come and eat. He says, everyone is wondering what they should do, setting up defenses for the evening. Everyone expects that we're attracting attention. People are talking about everyone staying in the manor house rather than settling into the other buildings. The other building.
Let's present it to them.
Yeah.
Let's let them decide what they want to do.
Okay. So you guys head into the manor house?
Yeah.
You can see that there's a people are going in and out of the dining room, and there's been a lot of food that's been set out in the dining room. There's like old bread and stuff like that they brought with them, and they've made like kind of a stock soup real fast out of stuff. So just anything to try and stretch the meager rations they have out. And everyone's kind of eating, but everyone in the room is like just quiet. There's people like sitting all up and down the staircase eating. The kids are all kind of grouped around in the table in the dining room.
How many children are there?
There is a dozen.
That was 12, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to figure something out. I mean, they could stay here, but for how long? They obviously want to leave and get away.
How many people can we arm from the guards' weapons?
Remember, the guards' weapons are picked clean.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
really not much here.
Nothing left.
So Grandpa's gonna lean into Utopia, and do you have a place where you keep spare blankets? Many spare blankets.
I know that I have some in. We could strip the bedrooms. We could strip the guest room and see if there's anything else left in the servants' quarters.
Let us do this. I will start going and looking for sheets and blankets, and I'll take the bowl of whatever food with me as I go and start gathering shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll turn to Utopia. Did your family have maybe a fleet of some kind of vehicles that could be utilized at all, maybe?
Ray,
Hey.
I don't.
What's
Oh.
up?
Like, we're looking at you, DM.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Like, I don't. Like, what would be? Because I know that the horses are gone.
The
didn't
horse,
have, like,
the horses are gone. There was a coach for like where your father was just going around town. your family didn't have a sky car only because your father would just call on service to fly with it. Not because he couldn't afford it, but because he was just like, why bother to have another thing cluttering up the yard? And your father was a horseman. He was a connoisseur of horses. He loved horses, and so he always preferred to go places by carriage if he could. And so the family had an elaborate carriage. It's missing along with all the horses.
Yeah.
So, the only horses that are here are the the 5 that were the 2 from the cart originally, and then the 3 that the guys were riding on.
Yeah, that the cultists brought in.
Yeah. But then they're all in the stables. So but because if you guys look at the map, you can see. If you look to the north end of the map, you can see where
We're still on the street fight map, sir.
Yeah.
Oh! My apologies. Let me get you to this.
Stretch.
Stretchy time. Oh, my shoulders are cracking and popping. Because I'm old. Okay, so if you look on the map, at the north end of the compound... Oh, has the map loaded for everybody yet?
Yeah.
Okay. At the north end of the compound, you can see the stable along the north wall. Okay? And you can also see the double gates that come into the estate on the east wall. And then the manor is on the west wall, and then there's a courtyard out front. Directly across from the manor is the guardhouse, which is also at the end of the guardhouse is the weaponry. Now remember, that building is mostly destroyed and crumpled apart, and the weaponry, the armory is completely looted, and the doors are ripped off the hinges. To the south is the servants' quarters, and then that big pile of wood there in the middle that's emitting light, that is the funeral pyre that was lit. And then is this fountain invisible? There's a fountain on there right by the ballroom on the outside of the house. And the fountain is used both as a decorative piece, and it provides water, because remember I said there's an underground spring.
Right. Utopia, would you happen to know if your father, it's possible, but maybe not, might have had, or your ancestors may have put in some possible, I don't know, this is going to sound crazy, but secret underground tunnel system? Your home being as old as it is, possibly some kind of servants' entrance or something?
There could possibly be something around the area underground where the crypt is. Or
that could be a possible way to at least begin a journey out. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, this is meta. Wasn't there a reference to a water pipe that theoretically went out to the ocean, but you'd have to hold your breath for forever? I remember Ray mentioning something about this.
I vaguely remember that too.
Yeah.
It's almost like I did it for a reason.
Mm.
Oh my god, we pay attention, Destiny. So can we, like...
Let's get that.
Yeah, let's check on that then.
So, after gathering blankets and so forth, motion over to Sugash, call him over, and then I'm gonna start ripping the blankets into strips and making harnesses out of them. So that some of the stronger people can basically put the kid on their back and be able to run and carry the kid so that they don't get left behind if we have to run.
That's a good plan.
So that's what Grompok's going to start doing and try and get Sugash to come help. Or anybody who's willing to help.
Actually, do you explain this to other people?
No.
Okay. No, because fuck them.
No, I literally am just Grompog's kind of on autopilot at this moment. Like he sees a problem, and he's doing what he can to try and remedy it. And then once they're basically ready and just need to be fitted at that point, then he'll show everybody what it is that he's done.
Got it.
I know it's going to take longer, but it's fucking Grompog.
All right, so you're doing that. You're tied up with that.
Literally.
Number one, if you have need of it, you all, since this much time has passed, you definitely have gotten a short rest.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to take some of that time, if not all of that time, to resummon Inari.
Gotcha.
So I feel like she could be useful.
So, Utopia,
Yes.
in the basement, there is a room. It's where the cold storage is.
I remember that.
And the reason it's there is because that's where the underground stream runs, because there's also the well in that room.
Yes.
So there is two things. Whenever a bucket is lowered down into the well, it's hard to pull the bucket up because there's a current. Which means the well in the basement dips directly down into the spring. So you could literally just go down the well to hit the spring.
And how big is it? We don't know.
It is an underground spring that flows through. The only thing you know of, from what your father would tell you, actually, technically, what the other servants would tell you is that it is rumored that the family has taken precautions to use it as a last means of evacuating in case the estate was ever put under some dire threat and they had no way of leaving and they were trying to get out of the city.
Yeah.
And so it's been so long that no one understands how, and no one's been willing to try it. But apparently the well is enchanted. And if you go down the well into the stream, you should be able to make it to where the stream dumps into the bay.
All right.
So, meta question. You guys went inside to talk to them and see what they wanted to do. And I don't believe at any point in time anybody has asked the people in there what their plans are.
No.
So who wants to have
So
that
you're still
conversation?
making plans without at all including the people that believe that they're fortifying here for the night.
I'll go and talk to them.
Okay. So
I'll be the face.
All right. So you walk in. Gretchen is kind of watching over the kids, and she's making sure that everyone's eating. And that's Mr. Estes' wife. And Camille is kind of like, she's taking care of removing empty pots and bringing them back in and fill, with full pots and everything like that. And she's kind of running the kitchen, as it were. As you come walking in, Val, she kind of like smiles at you and she says, and she like just instantly like pours a bowl, grabs a spoon and hands it to you. She tears off a little hunk of bread and she says, you know the drill. All of us have to have our strength.
I appreciate that.
The night's going to be long.
Yeah, possibly longer. So, and I will gesture to like a nearby table, like, please sit.
She goes and sits down.
So, there is a possibility of us getting you guys out of here, if that's something you want to do.
She says, "This is a large area to have to protect." She says, "The house was easier to guard, but it was nowhere near. It's not stone walls. It was a wooden house."
Sure.
She says, "This is stone walls." She She says, there may be more area to protect, but, we have a safer place to be.
Right.
She says, is something happening? Do we have to worry about being attacked?
No, not as far as I know. Not right now.
She says, because we found things. We found there's a bunch of old handles and stuff in the out in the blacksmith's area on the stables. She says, and we can sharpen those to points and use them as spears. She's like, some of the older kids and my father were bringing them in earlier. She says, we've been grinding them down and just trying to form any weapons we can. She says,
weapons would be good. Yes. I don't know that while you would be relatively safe here, I do not know how long you'd be safe. Ultimately, I'm giving you this choice. You can stay here, do your best to defend this manor, and this could be fairly dangerous in and of itself, given the time frame in which we would have to do this. An opportunity has arisen where we can get you out via boat out of the city.
her eyes light up when you say that. You can get us out of the city.
Yes. However, the catch to that is that we would have to get you all to this boat by high morning.
And she kind of stops and she says, you can see as she's remembering the city, and she says, with the children, she says, they're good kids. She says, they'll be quiet. She says, but that's a lot of people to move.
It is a lot of people to move. We're investigating the possibility of a detour, per se, where we wouldn't have to go through the city proper, perhaps, to get to where we need to go. Should that not pan out, however, the only way to the docks would be through the city, and we would have to travel at night to get you there.
No, I understood that we'd have to travel at night if it's going to be in the dawn. She says it'll be hours worth of walking to get us there. She says, so we'd have to leave when it was still full dark to make it there by that time.
Yeah.
What if we get another slaver cart? Well, we probably need several slaver carts.
We have, 3 already now?
Yes.
We have 3.
No. You did 3 trips. You had one slaver
we have
cart.
One slaver cart. Right.
That's why you had to do 3 trips.
No, I'm thinking of the horses.
Yeah. I've seen large groups of slavers before, carrying 1 or 2 carts and having a bunch of men armed around the carts to protect them. She says, but I've never seen a group this big wandering around the city since everything happened. This size of group is going to attract attention no matter what we do.
Yeah.
Especially moving around in the dark. The slavers don't even like to move around at night.
I know. It's a quandary, for sure. But if it's something that you'd be willing to do, we could figure something out. I personally would like to get all of you as far away from the city as possible for your own safety. But ultimately, that is up to you.
There's no other way than moving in the dark?
Not that we are aware of.
There might be.
Well, there might be. Like I said, that's something that's being looked into. Possibly moving through the well.
The well in the basement?
Yes.
She's like, is it a magical gateway to go somewhere?
While the well is kind of enchanted, it leads directly to the ocean, which we could use to circumnavigate the city and hopefully get to the docks that way.
How would we do that? And Gretchen kind of looks at her, and she says, "You mean for us to go through the rivers, don't you?"
Yes.
Gretchen's Camille's Gretchen shakes her head, and she says, "It's a fool's way." She says, "Even if you can find some air pockets along the way, the current's strong."
Yeah. Like I said, that's still being investigated. It's that or hike through the city and risk attack. And
So we get to be drowned or torn to pieces. You can
I
see
don't
that
like-
Gretchen is like, she seems to be like taking this news really hard.
I like this less than you do, trust me. The only other option is to stay here and try to defend this place as best as you can.
And Camille kind of puts her hand on Gretchen's shoulder and she says, "We were losing people. Lost people every single day, till it was just 3 of us, and then they caught us too. No matter what, if we stay here, it's just slow losses, slow cuts until we bleed to death. Either way, it's death. At least this way we get to choose. And maybe the Miss Mother bless us. Maybe there's a miracle. At least for the children, we have to try." And
I will poke my
Gretchen-
quarry and I will mentally say, God, I hate this. I don't want to have to put them through this.
The Corey says, in your mind you can hear her, and she says, "It's only that there's children."
Yeah.
She says, "I hate to say this. Change Renari. Resummon her into something in the water and let her go down the well. Something that can swim against the current."
Bright light. Why didn't I think of that?
She'll be able to scope the entire way and come back and tell you what's going on. It has to be something that can swim against the current and can see underwater. Or see in the dark. Because I doubt there's any lights down there.
Right.
And at least for a little part of the way, you'll be able to see through her eyes.
Right. I will... Let's see...
You know what the weird thing is I was just thinking about with that? out of character? Frogs don't have dark vision. They're only active at night, but they don't have dark vision.
They took my fucking eye.
But you know what does?
What?
An octopus does.
Does it really?
Whoa! And they're so smart.
Yes.
Actually, the neat thing about summoned is, or your familiars, is they're actually, like, I think they all have a base intelligence of 10, no matter what their animalistic form is.
Yeah. So
They're smarter than most people.
Yeah. So I will pipe up and I will say, here's what I can do. And I will call Inari to me.
Nara comes loping over to you with her tongue hanging out.
I'll scritch behind her ears. Inari is my familiar, and this is the shape that I chose for her to take. I can choose a different one. One that could perhaps scout the way through the well. And Arya is very smart and would be able to tell me safe paths for you all to take. Still slightly risky, but the risk decreases.
The girl, both the ladies look at you and they're like, "You're the wizard. What are we supposed to do? Tell you what to do?"
I want to know how, if you...
If there is a safe path to take, then yes.
Okay.
That's Camille. And Gretchen's kind of like, she kind of looks at Camille and she seems and looks at you, looks back at you and looks at Utopia, and she kind of like, she smiles and she says, "It's some hope, isn't it?"
Some is better than none. And I'll turn to Utopia. Daughter, take me to the well.
Okay.
You're gonna throw your familiar down a well.
Yeah. But you gotta octopusificate her
Yep.
first.
Octopusificate?
I don't
How's that word go again?
octopusify. I don't know. That just sounds like pussy. I don't.
It does.
There's no way
It does.
of adding stuff to the word octopus and not making it sound like pussy. Okay. Anyway. Right. Okay.
I mean, they made a James Bond film out of it, so
That's true. Octopussy.
Octopussy. Yeah. So
That seems fine.
That's all fine. Everything's fine here. We don't judge.
Everything's great. So I'll take him to the cold storage room.
Okay,
And,
well, real quick before we do that scene and jump into that next scene, it is 8:30. So let's take our 10-minute break, and then we will come right back, taking up at the well in the basement.
Cool.
All right, guys. We will be back in 10 minutes. Thank you guys very much. We'll be back at 8:40.
We'll be back.
Whee!
That's the proper way. RJ, fuck you. I just wanted to make sure you do it live on air. There we go.
Fucking glorious! Have open.
So we on break. We noticed that the closed captioning was still on, so we were watching the closed captioning to see how horrible it is. And I told everyone, please remind me to turn the closed captioning off. And RJ instantly goes, turn the closed captioning off.
I mean, you said to.
And then Rome did it too. So. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dinner and a Game, where everyone just takes turns fucking with me.
That is why we are here, sir.
Yeah. You invited us.
So, yes, I did.
Like, at the end of the day, you knew this was coming, and you invited all of us.
So, what we're going to do now is we're going to get back to the game right after I once again remind you all, if you do not follow us, please make sure you do, because when we hit 1,000 followers, and we are almost to 600 now, when we hit 1,000 followers, we are going to give away the D&D Special Edition box set, which comes with the Player's Guide, the Monstrous Manual, the DMG, and it comes with a DM screen. It is in this gorgeous slipcase. And these are the foil embossed cover versions of these books, which means they will not look like your neighbor's books. You'll always be able to tell your books apart from other people's at the store. We're giving away one of these when we hit 1,000 followers on Twitch, and we're giving away one of these when we hit 100 followers on YouTube. Now, the reason we're doing it for YouTube is because on YouTube, if we get to 100 followers, we finally get to have our actual name on YouTube instead of the horrible link that is in our link tree, which is this garble-gook message of trash. So please, absolutely, go give us a follow on YouTube. It'll enter you a chance to win one of these. Also, give us a follow here. It'll also enter you a chance to win. And if you get... Already a follow here? Oh, excellent. But thank you very much, Cryptwalker 76. And yes, so as soon as we hit 100 followers on YouTube, we'll be giving one of these suckers away. And when we hit 1,000 followers here, we're giving one of these suckers away. But that's just to thank you guys for helping us. Every single follower is just another confirmation that of my ego and my my overall greatness. But it's actually a confirmation that we are giving you content that you enjoy watching, and we are going to reward your loyalty by giving you prizes.
Prizes, baby.
Prizes is prizes.
So bribes.
They're not bribes because we can't give them to everyone. They're prizes because it's a contest.
I mean,
contest of
motto.
Isn't that the definition of a contest, though? Because, prizes.
Remember what I said to RJ, Sphinx?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. Leave my dad alone.
Just saying. I'm pointing at the obvious syntax here.
Now, back to me killing all of you.
Cool.
Fun.
I'll
At least
reroll.
be secretive about it.
I'll reroll.
All right, so
Something else crazy? Let's
Oh my god.
So you're gonna it's gonna take you an hour to resummon as an octopi.
Yep.
There's an octopus.
That's also going to burn another spell slot.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, wait, is it
that
ritual
works?
casting?
It's a ritual casting, yeah.
Never mind. It's a ritual cast, so you're
Yay.
fine. So yeah, it's gonna take you an hour of time. Everyone else is kind of gathering their things, getting not gathering their things, but gathering everyone together. Camille takes the kids to get them to bed. Everyone else is kind of gathering around, and the word is kind of spreading. Like, Gretchen's gone out and she's talked to her husband and she's talked to other people, and people are coming up to you guys as you guys are kind of walking around and like, are we leaving? Someone said something about a magical way to get out of here, to get out of the city, and people are just like bombarding you all with questions.
Yes, there is supposedly an enchanted way straight to the ocean from within the house. It wouldn't involve going around the city at all, but we're just trying to make sure that it's safe. If we can't use that, we're going to have to move through the city at night. So we're doing everything we can to avoid that because, well, for obvious reasons. But
so, like, a group of people have formed up around while you're saying all this.
Yeah.
I am nowhere near this group. Every time people have approached me, I have moved farther away from them.
Oh my god. Utopia did not do well in public speaking.
Hey, sorry, I do have a question. Did Shy leave or not?
Oh, that is a good question.
No one checked.
Oh shit.
Master?
Do you start looking? You start looking around.
Like, you guys said you were gonna go talk to people and then let her know. So, yeah, I'll look up and see if she's still standing around or if she's not there.
You don't see her anywhere around. Now there's still people outside. There's guards like outside because they post. Shy posted guards. Like, there's two outside the front door. There's one by each gate. So,
I believe I would be outside though. I'm making those strips. Like, I'm eating.
Yeah, you're
and
still
staying
sort of
away
in the
from
pyre
people.
area.
Yeah.
Like, but okay. So I don't see her. So
She's not outside.
just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay.
Damn it. I guess I'm not there to think about that.
Why aren't you not there?
Yeah, where are you? Why aren't you not there?
No, I went down to the well. But I guess, yeah. You know,
They went down to the well too, and then they came back up.
No, but no, I stayed by the well.
Oh, you staying by the well?
Yeah, but RJ was outside, I think, so.
Yeah.
I'll
We
deal
both
with
were.
that later. Yeah.
All right. So, the word definitely spreads around quickly. People seem more upbeat, but they also seem kind of scared. There's talk about some of the people are saying, well, we should just stay here. No one knows what's down there. We can get, how are we supposed to, I can't, some of the people are like, I can't swim that far underwater. What are we supposed to do? And other people are like, well, there's a bunch of people talking and arguing. And remember that one guy who was freaked out against the door?
Sure.
He comes walking up to you, Aom, and he kind of looks at you and he says, "Can't I just stay here? I mean, no one has to stay with me. I just can't go down in the dark again."
I can promise you that you can. You have the strength within you. And it is safe. We will find a way. We won't leave anybody behind.
And he doesn't look. Well, actually, make me a persuasion check.
Ooh.
Persuasion.
Role play that. Okay, so persuasion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have the persuasion? Oh my god, no, I don't. What do I roll? roll horribly. Do I need to change my dice again?
You had a +4 and your total's a 7.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, there it was an ow moment there. So he does not seem convinced, and he says, he kind of looks at you, and oddly enough, he seems to get resolve, and he looks at you and he says, "It's all right. You can't make me go. I'll be fine here."
Are you a religious man?
He says, "I've already tried praying."
I understand. Most of us have. The Miss Mother does not seem to answer. Are you a member of the Miss Mother's faith?
He's like, I'm sure I was, but none of that matters anymore. She's gone.
Do you understand the meaning of the word faith?
I'm no priest.
But the word itself.
To believe in something, I guess. What are you trying to say?
Generally something that you can't see. It is a belief that even though you can't see it, it still has power. And
What do you call it when you believe in something that people have seen walking down the street? That people have had conversations with? And then that left you here with these things?
I would say that is a test. But I'm not you. I just want to understand if... Are you willing to save yourself? An honest answer.
You're asking if I'm willing to throw myself down a hole into a underwater river and try and navigate in the dark and hold my breath until I hopefully come to some place where I can draw another just to go back under again? I think I'd do better hiding up here.
We won't send you down unless there is a path. And we won't send you down unless we know that it is... At least there is a modicum of safety.
You find a path and I'll rethink things. It's like, until then, I'm staying here. It's like, there's some food here. This is a strong building. Lots of places to hide.
I understand. I will find you after we have determined a suitable action.
He kind
I'm
of
just going to turn back to the group.
As Aeon turns back to the group, you see another one of the gentlemen come walking up to him, and they start talking.
Utopia.
Yep.
You said that there was a spell, correct? Something that allows us to breathe.
I don't know what the spell is exactly. I just know that it's supposed to help make that kind of passage as the last resort a safe one.
Okay. Aom's gonna grab onto the rope that leads down into the well and just jump down in.
Oh my god!
Make me an athletics roll.
No worries.
Acrobatics.
If whichever one's higher, I'll let you use both. Because you
Okay,
you could definitely put your hands on the side of the well.
Is this happening? Is this happening while I'm still changing?
Oh my god!
Okay. So I'm in the middle of this like whole ritual thing, and I can't stop till I grab.
And I was like, yeet!
Man,
You
3
do have
pairs.
slow
Why not?
fall
I do have slow fall.
if
Yes.
you need it.
Yeah.
Yes. So you go down the well. You throw yourself over. You're hanging onto the rope. As you go down the well, you're using your slow fall to try and keep control of it. you quickly discover that while holding onto the rope, it's very hard to slow your fall. And so you start kind of losing it, and you start slipping. Then you end up tumbling and falling down the well. You don't take any damage. You don't like bang off the walls. But when you hit the water, the first thing you realize is the current is pretty damn strong, and you don't have hold of the rope anymore. I want you to make... You can see in the dark, though, right?
No.
Don't you have goggles of night?
Yeah, we never gave those back.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Then yes.
So what I need you to do is I need you to make me a perception check. Disadvantage. Because you're in complete darkness, which makes a dim light, which makes perception checks a disadvantage. Now that's when you need to roll to count.
Bro, you should have thought this through. You're the one person who doesn't have.
As you hit the water and you feel yourself being pulled along, in the dim light that or the darkness, you can make out the shape of the bucket on the end of the rope, kind of dangling out of the bottom of the hole into the current, and you manage to grab a hold of the bucket.
Perfect.
You know that you as a human, you as a humanoid, probably could not swim against this current. You may be able to pull yourself along against the rocks against it, or like use this rope to pull yourself back up into the hole. That's the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice, because you have about 60 feet of this dim light vision, is, and this is all in black and white, is that this is a large cave. There's not very many handholds. The walls seem to have been worn very smooth by the passage of water. It is probably only about 10 feet deep, like from the top of the cave to the bottom of the cave, but it's about 20 feet wide. Occasionally, there's still like a nub of a stalactite or a stalagmite hanging down, but this water has been flowing through here for who knows how long. And the other thing you notice is that the slope is like 45 degrees.
Okay.
So that's why the current's so strong.
I'm gonna take a breath.
That's not 45 degrees. You take a breath?
Yeah, in the water.
You feel the weird sensation of fluid rushing into your mouth, but nothing goes down your throat.
Come on, guys, you gotta have faith.
As you breathe in air into your lungs.
Miss Mother's with me. She never left.
Girl boss move, I guess. I'm gonna start pulling on the fucking rope. I'm not just gonna wait.
You can see another thing you can see is the edge of the well where the rope is dangling down. The edge of the well, it's been worn smooth from the hundreds of thousands of times that bucket has been pulled up out of the stream of water. So that's why the ropes never break anymore, is because that edge has been worn smooth by ropes after years and years of pulling that bucket back up.
Perfect.
Well, damn.
I'm just flailing in the water.
Are you letting Utopia pull you back up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pulling him up fast as possible.
So as she pulls you up, the bottom of the well, where the surface of the water is a good. You actually come up like 3 or 4 feet into the well itself before you break surface, and that's probably being caused by the pressure of the water going by the bottom of the well, forcing water up into that well reserve. But that's as high as it can make it go. So you know that it may be from the well water surface to where the stream is only like 3 or 4 feet. And it was the simple fact that you fell like 15 feet before you hit the water is why you went so deep in. But if everyone else like lowers themselves down with the rope carefully, they should be able to like lower themselves into the water and then choose when they go under and go into the stream.
Okay.
It's safe. Breathes like air.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
Okay.
Sort of like drag my wet clothing. And
Yeah, no, I'm
over
like
yeah.
kind of hoisting you out of there. Like.
I guess thinking about it, Val, you probably could have done detect magic, couldn't you?
Oh, damn it.
I'm
still doing the ritual.
Oh my god.
And my face is clearly annoyed, and I'm the ritual. I just nod. I continue doing the ritual.
Too deep to turn back now.
Yeah, I'm too far in.
I figured
Alright.
you were preoccupied.
I will look at him and like with my head I will gesture to the ritual and like the
Trying to have a conversation in the middle of a ritual.
like this blob that used to be in our fox kind of like morphizing and shifting as I'm trying to shape it with the rituals.
Trying to
as I pull
concentrate and picture of fucking octopus in your head.
Right.
As I pull myself out of the water, I look over at the man who came up to me earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is an amazing tool. And it is safe.
He looks at you and he kind of like. Make me a persuasion roll with advantage.
I'm just carrying Aeon like a baby. Like, dude, what the fuck?
He
Like,
kind of looks
big
at you.
grump face while I'm casting this ritual.
He looks at you, and he nods once,
Sorry,
and he
Dad.
says, "So I won't drown." He's like, "But we still have to find a safe path." And he kind of looks at you, and he's like, "It's not just that I'm scared." He says, "We have to find a safe path." He's like, "Because there's some of us that are not going to be monks or fighters," and he looks at you, Utopia, "or adventurers of any sort," and he gestures at Val. "We're just gonna be people."
Val shrugs in the middle of the ritual.
And he says,
I have
"And we're not used to going down into an underwater stream where we can breathe still and finding our way in the dark."
And I have faith that my friends will help you find a way.
Still
won't
casting the
rest with me.
ritual, like I will like still like muttering and like will give this look like that is they're very much trying to say, and we are?
I mean,
All right. So, Rome, what has Sugash been doing this entire time?
I'm pretty sure Grumpock and I were just.
Oh, you're that's right. You were helping him.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I snagged him because he knows the knots. We know the same thing, and he probably realized what it was that I was doing as soon as I started.
Gotcha. So,
You're welcome, Peter.
out of the kids, out of the dozen kids, there is probably 4 of them who would probably really benefit from being swaddled up against somebody rather than having to try and use it themselves. There's 2 more that if they were strapped to someone like, Grandpa's size or Utopia size would be okay. The rest are old enough and large enough to where putting them on anyone else's back or anything like that would probably do more to hamper both of them. But one of the other things you realize right away is you could also use this to make long strips to be able to tie each other together underwater.
I don't know about the well.
Yeah, we don't know about any of that.
I thought you were present for that discussion. Okay.
Nope.
No, they've been down in the well talking about the whole thing, and then they were in the dining
should
room.
I run up with Aeon drenched and just let them know what's up?
Well, you don't know that they're not present, so give it a second. So you guys are sitting there and you're making these items and everything like that. Thank you, Opalmuki T, for the follow. When you do this, as you're doing this and you're sitting outside doing it, the guards are kind of. There's two guards. There's two guards on the front door of the building, and there's a guard on each one of the gates. The guard on the smaller sally port, he kind of like you see him turn, and he opens the little spy hole in the sally port, and then you see him go and he opens the sally port gate, and 3 figures come in. And he closes the gate quickly and locks it behind him. And as you see them, all 3 of them, they're running across the lawn. The one in the lead is what's his name? The young wizard.
Cal.
And he's coming over, and he's got this super excited look on his face as he comes running across the lawn. I'm assuming you guys kind of stuck by the bonfire when you were doing all this.
Yeah.
Bonfire, the funeral pyre. That's a horrible thing. And he's running up towards you, and he says, "I'm not only alive, but we have news." And he says, "Oh, thank you very much for the subscription, Opal. Thank you. Wow,
Yeah, thank you.
Didn't have to do that, but
Wow,
we really
thanks.
appreciate it." But he says, "I have news." He says, "I found the spell. We can translate everything." It says, "We have a chance to find out what's going on. Where's Valestein?"
Everyone else is inside.
He says, he kind of looks around, he looks at the guys, and he says, "I came with him." He's like, "Go get something to eat." And he looks at you two, and he says, "What were you saying? I'm sorry?"
Did you find out about the warrior version of your missed mother?
He says, "There wasn't much I could find about her. That's why I'm hoping that the text will give me more information." It says, "But I also have bad news." It says,
That's never good.
the gentleman that I was going to find, that I was trying to get the information from, his bolt hole was in place, his hidey hole, where he was keeping all of his supplies. He says, "But I waited there for him for an entire day, and he never returned. And he was a much more powerful caster than I."
Meta break. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of? And I'm calling on your lore, Utopia and Ray. Of the guy who we originally gave the transcript to while we were still in the Wizard's
Oh, the
Tower.
other guy in the tower?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I cannot remember his name at all.
That's why I said meta break, because unfortunately, because I want to name drop right now and see if it's the same fucking guy, because the time frame is right for when he said he would have that information. So with that being the case,
Benjamin? Is it Benjamin?
I think it might have been Benjamin, but I'm not 100% sure.
Let me
That's the
just
problem.
search my notes.
yeah, I just, it clicked in my head and I was like, oh shit, maybe this, but I can't remember that far back with the name, and I know you fucking write
Utopia
down
is amazing.
everything.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Utopia is amazing. Sorry, Milagros is amazing. Utopia is equally amazing, but she's fictional. Milagros is real, and Milagros is fucking amazing. And has the ability to not only type notes in real time, but also keep them organized to where we can literally look up lore from Milagros' notes.
So you're looking in the episode after the one that you missed. So there was that break in your sessions where we went down after the Ruby and you missed that and were basically kidnapped. That episode
Right,
where
right.
we came back is where we met the linguist in the
Yes.
tower after we finish that. So that's the episode you're looking in, and probably a half hour to an hour into the actual episode.
Perfect.
So probably somewhere in the middle.
Mhm.
Yep.
I can remember that shit, but I can't
Can't remember the actual name.
names.
Happens that way sometimes.
Okay.
Like, that's legitimately the brain. Ugh.
The brain no work the way.
I think it worked pretty fucking good to,
Oh, yeah.
to throw the dart.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, gotcha.
Different. Right?
Huh?
Fine.
I talk to myself out loud.
Oh no, I've got your chat up too, so I can see it.
Yeah, you were talking as I was responding to her, so I put your Ray instead of her Ray.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Yep. Yeah. She's not going to be quiet when she comes in Discord later. She's going to yell at my ass.
Glorious.
Which would be awesome since she never talks.
Right?
So,
Okay, so just while she searches.
yes, well, she's
Yeah.
searching, and we'll
Look
call
at
him. We'll call them Benjamin for now,
Yeah,
and we'll
'cause
correct
we're
it if she
trying to
finds the lore. Okay.
Cool.
So,
So there was your contact. Was he?
mhm.
Was he?
Yep, Benjamin, you're right.
Nice. Did he work in the tower? Benjamin? Does that name sound familiar?
That was his name, and I didn't know he worked in the tower. He said he was a refugee, just like the rest of us.
From
How could he have been in the tower? The tower exploded.
He left before the ritual went on. I don't know, but we showed him the same information that we showed you, and I was slightly baffled by how quickly you did it, being a younger scholar, considering he felt it would take him months and months to discern it. So,
He says, I was going to use this spell. He may not have... No, he's in the college. He would have had access to this spell. Why didn't he want to translate the document for you?
Oh no, it's
I smell a conspiracy, baby.
I could not tell you. We were
Conspiracy,
doing
baby.
what we could to try and help. Maybe they were working with them all along.
C-O-conspiracy.
I thought you were going to try and spell the whole word.
No, I was not.
He
No,
says,
I was not.
but he was helping me. He supplies me with spell regnants when I was running out. This doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what to tell you on that front, but
I must
it
find
makes
Val.
sense that you would.
He says, I need to talk to Val. And he looks at the guards and he says, go inside, get something to eat, get some rest. He's like, and he and as they're walking away, he kind of like, and guys, and they kind of look back at him, and he's like, thank you. You kept me alive. And they both nod at him, and they're walking up to the front. And as they're walking up to the front gates, there is just a downrush of wind so strong that the embers of the funeral pyre are suddenly fanned up. And this huge column of cone of black just coats across the front entrance of the building.
Oh no.
Oh, damn it.
And there is brief screams, which are quickly cut off.
Yeah.
And when the cone lifts and is gone, you see that the two guards and the two men that were with him are there. There's bodies there, but it looks like someone hit them with your harm touch spell and did so much damage that they like what you did to that one guy when he turned into chunks.
Oh,
But it's
wounds.
yes,
wounds,
afflict
yeah.
wounds. So you easily identify this as necrotic damage, but it came from a giant burst from a cone from the sky. As you look up, you see a large shape that blots out all the stars as it flies overhead.
Get everyone in the house.
Grompak just starts smiling at this point.
Oh my god.
All the two guards at the gate are looking up. You can hear them yelling, "What is that?"
It is a dragon.
So for all intents and purposes, I'm yelling at everyone to get in the house, which I'm not going to do because that will kill all of you.
Never handle Rome's voice in full capacity.
I'm like God in Dogma.
Or the black bolt from the Inhumans.
Everyone's heads blow up, and the game's over. All right, so what are you guys doing? Grandpa is looking at the sky.
I'm still casting a ritual inside.
Yeah.
I know nothing of this.
God, he's
I'm
just...
yelling
it's
at
been-
all the
it's-
idiots to go in the house.
By now, it's been long enough to where you basically finished the ritual.
I've got an octopus.
You got an octopus in your hands. It's all like.
I know. We'll get you.
You
back
just get
in
the general.
soon.
You get the general mental
Like,
pictures
I'm
in your
so
head
sorry,
of
Inari.
I'm supposed to be in water, boss.
Yeah, we're getting you there. Hang on, and I will.
I'm so sorry, Inari.
I will take it to the well. I will pull up the bucket first. I'm just not going to throw her in the thing.
No, that's so mean. No.
The bucket. That just seems wrong. So I will pull up the bucket. I will gently place her in the bucket and like, okay, I need you to go and check this. Check the tunnel out. Make sure it's safe. Make sure there are safe places for people to go. We can do this. I believe in you.
How far?
As far as you can get and stay in contact with me.
Okay. When I feel you leave contact, I'll come back.
Okay. And I will
Lower it down in.
lower it down in.
Oh yeah, and thanks for not dropping me.
Of course, buddy. I love you.
So, once you feel the bucket hit water, it kind of tips sideways, and you can't really. Oh wait, you do have dark vision on. You see her slip out of the bucket, slip underwater, and just go foop and go and take off.
All right. I look at Utopia. Is Utopia still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. I
I'm
look at
still
Utopia.
holding Aeon.
Still holding Aeon.
She's
Wet and soggy Aeon.
Yep.
She's in. I will.
Right about this time, Camille comes running into because this is the cold room in the basement. So you have to go through a door and go into the place underneath the kitchen to go up the ladder to get into the proper house. And so Camille comes running into the cold room, and she's like, "Something's attacking the grounds outside."
Great. Okay. I will look at Camille. Okay.
Let me move some people around on this map a little bit.
We're on our way. As I'm going to turn back real quick to Utopia and Aeon. Okay. We got to get up there.
Yep.
And I will send a mental message to Inari. There's trouble. Forget that last order. Find even if you leave my contact, keep going. Make sure it's safe, and then come back.
Aeom's like giving Utopia like a quick hug and then rolled off her shoulder and
I
already started
was
like
gonna say, like, I'm
sprinting.
just
And as you roll off of her, I am going to like really, really quickly like ball my fist up and bonk you upside your head again.
I know.
I'm putting you guys in the dining
Your turn
room.
this time.
We had this conversation
We've been over this.
twice now. This is now the third time.
Yeah. But now it's your turn.
I'm putting you all in the dining room to start. Okay.
I didn't leave.
Oh no, I meant Aeom, Utopia, and Val.
And
You got the rest.
I sure as shit did not leave that courtyard.
Yeah.
The rest of you get to go on this, and then let me hang on 1 second. I need to zoom out a bit.
Yeah, the real test is gonna be to get Grandpa inside.
Oh
Let's
my
get
god.
Grandpa inside.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, either
this
one of us.
is-
Yeah, that's true.
This is This is legitimately our heritage right here.
Yeah.
Is fighting fucking dragons.
Yeah.
Like, there's no greater honor in our minds than fighting a dragon. And if we die by a dragon, then it's even more so.
All right, everyone can roll initiative.
Oh joy.
Whee.
Oh, fuck me.
Hey, I did a thing.
Fucking beans.
I would like dinner and a date first.
I mean, I rolled a 3, so you could have whatever the fuck you want at that point. It's gonna take me a while to get there.
Okay.
Poor Parvati.
You're not that far behind me, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
Buy Grandpa dinner for a try.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
I like my steak medium rare.
And my potatoes raw.
And I like my potatoes.
All right.
I forgot about the potato.
Never forget about the potato.
Never forget about the potatoes. All right, so let's go ahead and start on initiative order. First off, Grandpa, when you saw the shadow go overhead, it basically went over the wall to the north. Once it gets like past the edge of your dark vision, you can't really see it because it's outside of the range of your vision. But it is definitely, you can hear it flying.
So as it passes before initiative, can I make a quick action, which is simply just to reach down and grab the satchel off of Benjamin, or not Benjamin, but the other gentleman. I basically want to grab his bag.
Okay. He's making for the house, so are you going to snatch the bag off his back?
I thought you said it killed him.
No, it killed his
guards.
Oh, okay. So the fucking retcon that. I thought he was dead on the ground.
No. He's still standing. Like, his guards walked. He sent his guards into the house, so they walked past you, and they were almost to the door where the other two guards were, and that's when the dragon strafed them with its breath and hit all four of those guys and killed them.
Gotcha.
So, but it never left the sky when it did that. So it is so you see it circling around.
Utopia, you need to roll initiative.
Yeah, my Firefox freaked out, so I had to completely
it's my dog.
Close the window and come back.
Chrome, lady.
Yeah, like Firefox. I mean.
Okay.
For Foundry.
Okay. I'll open it in Chrome. It's like everyone always has something to say about me having an Android too.
I love Androids.
I love Androids.
I'm always the one in the group chat with like the weird bubble, and then they're like, we can't do like the fun image and like we can't name it. And I'm like, because I have an Android. They're like, oh. I'm like, listen.
I'm not gonna get into Apple discussion on that.
I always had an Android, and I have a PC anyway, and I feel like if I
I love
use
Android.
an iPhone with a PC, like it would try to kill me.
Yeah,
like just out of principle.
Absolutely, Android is the way.
That's
all I'm saying.
All right, so
sorry. Now I'm using Chrome.
RJ and Rome, make me perception checks.
I like my phone.
Okay.
Why can't I click on myself? Because I'm not on the right screen. Because I'm stupid.
You are not the stupid.
Damn.
Not bad.
He can perceive every individual.
Yay!
World.
I can see that I'm outside.
RJ,
Can you?
it circles and it literally flies the length of the courtyard. It's probably about 30 feet overhead, but it's basically flies over and it lands on the roof of the servants' quarters to the south. It's obviously trying to disguise its movements because it barely flapped at all. But just like in its course correction and everything like that, you heard it and you got to see it. This dragon is so dark in coloration that it almost seems to be a drawing darkness into it. So it basically is very hard to make out against the night sky. The only reason you're able to is because literally there were no stars where it flew.
Brother, it's over there. You're looking in the wrong direction.
It's dark.
It's dark.
If it's over there, it's black.
Yeah, exactly. There's no light. Do you see where the stars stop? Right there?
Alright, so that is all it does for its turn is that. As you're standing there, oops. As you're standing there, where the two are standing by the bodies. What the heck? Oh, there it goes. Coming out of the body looks like a shadowy image of the person who was standing there, who had died there. And as it comes out, it comes forward and begins to just tries to reach out and touch you,
Me?
Sugash.
Can you put the token on the map for me, please?
It's on the map.
Not where I can see it.
Really? Hang on 1 second.
I don't see any of your tokens
The
on the map.
visibility is toggled. They're invisible.
No, I toggled it back. Let me actually maybe I have to do it from the token. I have to do it from the token. There it is. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No problem. Target away. All right, so it is going to try and hit Sugash. And it expertly misses.
That's weird. It rolled as Grumpuck.
No,
Yeah.
I rolled.
Oh, okay.
I'm attacking it for coming within range.
Yes,
It only
he
takes
gets
4 points of damage, though.
got it. 1 second. Looking for something real fast. Alright, so it takes how much?
4.
4. Alright, no problem. Hey, damage is damage. And you see as you swing your glaive that it seems to literally rip substance out of it, but you almost like spin when you swing because you don't feel it hit anything. But you do see that, you know, some of the shadow is just like torn loose from it and kind of almost like goes spinning off into space and disappears. So that is on its turn. Aom, you're up next.
Alright.
I gave you guys basically said like you came up the ladder, came out of the kitchen,
Yeah.
and you're starting there.
Okay. I guess I'll just try to make my way outside. Yeah.
Make sure to open the door. Oh wait, that's an archway. Never mind.
Is this person ahead of me? Is this Cal?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Cal. Hi, Cal. Sorry, I was. Let's make sure.
Excuse me, Miss Utopia. You put yourself back there until your turn is up.
Oh man.
You wait your turn, young lady.
Oh man.
Okay, 50 feet. So.
I did.
40. Why can't I go inside? Great, can you put me inside?
Click the door.
There you go.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, you gotta click the door.
Normally how doors work. Open them first.
I just run through them.
Aom just keeps on battering his head against the door.
It's not working.
Mid-combat, all we hear is, "Oh, not open."
It's like a
What do you
dog
mean
when
I
it's
have
a
to open the
door.
door before I go out the door?
Alright, what are you doing, Aim?
I'm just gonna smack it.
Alright. Roll to schmack.
Smack the dragon.
That's not the dragon,
Is
that's a
that
shadow.
Oh, that's
the
yeah. I'm not
magic
targeting it. Sorry.
You do have to target him
There
first.
we go. Okay. Yay!
You hit the shadow.
I
Roll
hit the
damage.
shadow.
You're level 6. Are your attacks and magic now?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also always had the wraps, so.
Oh, yeah. So 5 points of damage.
Yep. And then smack again.
Smack it again.
Forgot about those wraps.
No, I did.
Let's go.
Yay! I like this thing. It's very easy to hit.
Yeah, it is very easy to hit, actually. 4 more points.
Okay, and then I'm going to use Flurry of Blows. Because why not? Got lots of key. Damn it.
That is why not.
What the heck?
There we go, though.
Who needs a
Damn.
bar when I can inspire you?
Just look over at Grandpa and wink.
I still want to know
Okay,
how you
you know what?
critically hit a shadow.
True. I'm going to use Stunning Strike on that last hit as well.
You did 7 points on that hit?
Yeah, but I'm going to use Stunning Strike.
So before you can even summon up the next key point to use Stunning Strike,
What?
as you strike the last blow, the shadow seems to just dissipate.
Well done. There is
How
a
is
dragon. There's a dragon.
Oh.
There's a dragon.
I'm just... Wait,
I just-
I'm dead?
I was trying to click on the shadow and it clicked on you instead. It was an accident.
And died.
It's called Dragon Sphere. It's very powerful.
I'm a wither.
All
I'm
right.
just going to look where Grandpa is pointing. Towards
Make me a perception check.
Oh, cool. Okay.
At, hang on a second, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Not
Yeah, at disadvantage.
Struggling to do basic
Okay.
math. Oh my god.
What are you trying to put together?
5 plus 4.
You can't
plus
you can't
7.
see anything.
16.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the end of your turn. Utopia, you're up.
Okay, now I get to go down the stairs.
Now you
I
get to
waited
go.
my turn. I
Get
waited
down
my
the
turn,
stairs.
Damn it. Whee.
Wait a second. 5, 10, 15, 20,
I'm
20.
gonna stand next to my friend.
You've basically had to do a double movement to get there, so you don't have an action.
Bet. But also the shadow. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to hit anything yet anyway.
Yes, there is no shadow right now in place.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you going? So you do have a bonus action if you want to use it. If you have anything to do with it.
Ooh, can I cast light?
Do you have the spell light?
I have a cantrip. Yes.
You have a cantrip?
Because
Yeah.
she's an XMR.
Azamar.
Oh yes.
Because I'm an ASMR.
Because you're an ASMR. And
Your voice is very
it's
soothing.
20 feet of bright and 20 feet of dim, right? Excuse me.
Believe
I think
so.
it is.
Should be in your features or racial traits, and then light bearer would be the name of the skill.
I'm almost positive I'm correct, so I'm going to fix it real fast.
But it's cast in like an action or bonus.
Light bearer. It's a cantrip.
But it has to be I think it's an action
but
still.
The cantrips are still actions or bonus
Oh.
actions.
Oh, it's an action. I can't do it.
No problem, no problem.
Man.
No problem. That's just a minor setback. So basically that's it then.
Yep.
Give me a second. We're not having as many problems as we did before, but sometimes it still goes. Eh.
Why would you
Yeah,
say that?
you're-
Because now you just glitched the fuck out.
Your camera is about a second and a half behind you.
Oh no.
Just as a
No, he's crashing. There he goes.
I'm going to kill
Oh.
that.
That's pretty close.
Well, that's pretty close. There you go. All right.
The noise.
I made a noise, and you pretty much repeated it really quick. Almost exactly.
All right. All right. Let me do one other thing. All right. So
like Octodad.
Octodad. I don't want to
Yeah.
be Octodad.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be Octodad. Let's see here.
No, Val is Octodad.
Yeah.
Oh, Val is Val is definitely Octodad. All right, so it is now over to Doop.
I think it's. Oh!
Doop.
What?
Utopia, as you walk out, you're not really doing it on purpose, but you're kind of standing over one of the dead bodies.
Oh.
As you're standing over the dead body, an inky blackness leaks out from it and forms beside you.
Oh.
As another shadow appears. And this shadow reaches out to touch you.
No!
Was unconsensual, sir.
It is completely unconsensual. I am
That's
very
very
sorry.
creepy. I'm a
Very
teenager.
sorry. I'm a
Okay,
teenager.
canceled.
I'm very sorry. This is definitely not consensual.
No!
And it misses as its hands just reach out for you, and you can see from its facial, from what's there of its face and the shadow of the figure, that it's one of the two guards who was standing outside the doorway earlier.
Oh.
So that is its turn, and now after that, it is. I didn't got that. And then from the guard that was to the north there, another thing of inky darkness comes floating out of it.
Goodness gracious.
Yep. And it goes sliding over to Grandpa, and it will attempt to kill him.
Okay.
It's like, okay, that's really smart. You know who I am?
Right.
Do you know who I am?
You're fucking dead is who you are.
I mean, quite literally.
Damn.
See,
Wait, why did that
badly
roll for
misses.
both of them?
Badly misses, because I have you both targeted right now. Badly misses both of you. But it was only really targeting Grandpa. Alright, so that is the end of his action.
I'm
Next
just
is
imagining
over
that as,
to...
like,
Yes, you're
I
dead.
don't know if y'all have seen the
Sugash, you're up.
Netflix series, but when Trevor's like punching Dracula and it just does absolutely nothing,
Yep.
like there's no impact.
Because it's Dracula. Sugash, what you doing?
So, I'm actually going to step to here, and seeing as how the other two... Well, I mean, it's kind of metagaming, but not really. But seeing as the other two have come out of the corpses, I'm going to hold a turn undead until the third comes out.
Alright. That is perfectly valid action, sir. You are a cleric, after all. On the next action, guess what happens?
They all have to make
Out
a
of
saving throw.
the last body, a shadow turns up, and now they all have to make saving throws.
DC 14 wisdom, please.
DC 14 Wisdom is correct.
I like the little picture for the turn undead. So surprised. He's like,
It is also...
You have to what? You have to what?
It would be everybody in that range that is undead needs to make a DC 14.
Yes, that would be all of them.
Yeah.
First one, natural one.
Rip.
Next one, oh, close that.
oh,
Ooh.
I'm getting turned tonight. R.I.P. that.
Oh, come on, buddy. Roll your saving throw, please. All right, I'm gonna close you because you're not cooperating, so you're closed. You're
And
closed.
they don't have a modifier, so just a 20.
And yeah, well,
I said again. No.
and the
out
last
of
one.
somebody's body and then you get turned. Look at this.
I didn't even get to do anything today. Oh, the last one gets to do something.
Nice.
And
So, what CR are they?
Huh?
What CR are they?
1/2.
So everyone that failed their throw is destroyed instantly.
You are a horrible person.
Wow.
You have destroyed my sacred shadows.
I mean, you threw undead at a cleric that's grumpy, so
Yeah.
let's go.
Did you say a cleric that's grumpy?
Huh?
Did you just say a cleric that's grumpy?
grumpy.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's kind of cute.
And
Yeah.
then
Don't mess with it.
the one that saved, I don't think actually has to flee.
Yeah, he does not. So he's the one whose turn it is. Yay! So the only one who lives is the one who actually has an action.
Nice.
And he is going to go up and try and eat Utopia. Come on. Alright, I'm going to use this one because that one doesn't want to work today. Oh, come on. For the love of Christ. For the love of all that's holy. Foundry is giving me shit.
Take your time.
I'm just going to... No.
Take your time.
Never.
Take your time, buddy.
No, that's okay.
Do not want to. Cannot make me.
I'm rooting for you.
Oh!
God damn it.
We have hit. We have a hit. We have a hit. Let's see what that does again.
Get your hands off my daughter.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm a teenager. You can't do that. It's illegal.
That's creepy as all creepy.
You're gonna get canceled on Twitter for this.
The shadow just recoils.
Social media platform. I've spent so long trying to build it up.
Give me a second here.
I had such a presence.
So many followers.
You know how expensive necromancy is?
I finally got a sponsor.
Alright, so the strength drain is the effect here.
Today's attack was brought to you by HelloFresh.
Raid Shadow Legends!
Oh no!
I was gonna make a joke about the strength drain, but you're so right.
Alright, strength drain, there it is. Alright. You're going to take 2d6 necrotic damage. 1, 2. So you take 10 points of necrotic damage.
But how many Twitter followers does he lose?
And he loses half that many Twitter followers. And your actual strength score is reduced by 1.
What?
Oh, what?
Yep.
Are there any physical changes to Utopia?
No.
Okay.
But Utopia, you feel it. You feel your strength being sucked away by this creature. Alright, so that is the end of its turn. Val, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna...
Doctor, a call to surgery, please. Doctor, a call to surgery.
3, 4, 5. Whoops. Alright, fine. 1, 2...
There's walls.
4, 5. Alright. I can see nothing.
I should open the other door.
I'm going to use my 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've got one more, so I can go 6. That'll do my 30, and then fine. I'll use my action to move some more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open the damn door. 5, 6. And I will. I'm gonna look at Utopia, because she seems to be the one that needs it, and I am going to sing "Hello, Darkness, my old friend."
Yes!
It's time to kick your ass again.
Yes!
I heard that you were being creepy. Very weepy. So today, we are going to kick your ass.
Your ass is grass. And we're gonna mow it.
That's my daughter. Take your D8 of inspiration.
Thank you.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. Is anything else, sir?
I can do nothing else.
Grandpak. You're probably muted.
I realize that. I'm trying to be polite. So.
And I know that's a very strange sensation for you.
Wow.
I mean, he does spend like 90% of the time with me, so
Wow. That was a macro aggression.
gonna suggest that we don't derail his asshole training and stop trying to be nice to him.
I
Fair
felt
enough.
I tasted that spice. That was.
I know I really don't have to ask this question, but you're gonna torture me by charging the dragon, aren't you?
I mean, I'm gonna get out of the clusterfuck of group of people that are standing here in
In a cone.
perfect shot for a fucking cone from said dragon.
Yeah.
Because everybody lined up on top of each other because we're fucking brilliant.
Hey,
Bad-
I used
bad
up
guys.
all of my possible movement. Give me a minute.
I need to run more.
You hold my heavy armor and my hammer and my shield dead. Then I can sprint.
I look at her as I'm in plate mail, like I fucking do it every single day.
Carry my stuff and then I
Okay,
can
so
sprint.
RJ and Utopia, Grandpa and Utopia sacrifice their turns arguing.
I'm not planking at full speed. Okay.
I know. I fucking
Now,
did.
is he on the building?
He's on the
across
roof.
way, or
To the south.
To the south?
Oh, here. You can actually see him. So I need
Oh,
to do this.
Also, can I see him with my dark vision?
Make me a perception check.
Okay.
So I was here. Okay. So 5, 10, 15,
Oh, magical dark vision.
25,
You will probably fail me.
30.
Oh, that was better than I thought. It was an 18.
You can see him.
Rotten motherfucker.
Alright. It's
Rot in hell, you foul demon lizard.
it's killing me. Sorry, right?
What's going to kill you? I mean, it's obviously going to be a dragon, but other than that,
Oh my god.
Yeah, good luck with that, Vic. Not worried about the dragon.
and Grandpa, what are you doing? You have moves.
So I'm gonna.
Don't do that tongue thing.
Lord.
I'm gonna look at it and in Draconic say, oh, "Well met, Scaly One. It is nice to see another of your kind in this city. It is unfortunate that you must now leave this city." And I'm gonna cast a level 2 guiding bolt at his face.
At the face!
Right in your face.
In the motherfucking face! And also, after you cast your guiding bolt, make me a nature check. That hits!
Ooh.
Glorious.
Smack him.
Nature's a straight D20.
Okay. I was checking something. Just checking.
Damage 5d6 radiant.
Ow, ow,
yeah.
ow. Oh
Yeah,
my
but there's 4
god.
fucking ones in there. Are you shitting?
Holy shit. That was
Yikes.
fucking amazing.
It was fucking atrocious.
It was amazingly atrocious, though. I mean, you gotta
That was-
accept the amazing of things. Alright, so are you doing anything else, Grandpa?
It's a leveled spell, so I can't do that. No, I think that's it for this turn.
Alright. You're gonna have to start the playlist, right? It's not working for me.
Oh, I forgot to do the combat playlist. Sorry.
No,
Battle,
you're good.
battle, battle, battle.
I tried to play it, it didn't want to work. There it goes. I mean, it's a dragon. Harps and happiness.
It is a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
it does for Grandpa.
And there we go. It's working now. Death metal, death metal, death, death, death.
It's a fucking necrotic dragon. Yeah, that's
So, the dragon looks over at you, Grandpa, and it says, and it nods its head at you, oddly enough, and it says, and it reaches out and it takes its clawed hand and it thumps it on his chest and it says, Iranthor, I would have you know the name of your death.
I am Grandpa of the Flight Tusk.
And it flies and lands here, inhales, and streams forth a stream of vile putrescence in a cone that launches out. I need Utopia, everyone but Grandpa to make me a dexterity saving throw, and as does the Shadow, because he's not... Oh no, never mind, he doesn't have to. Dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Oh.
16.
Nice, Dugash.
How the hell do I move faster than the monk?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm gonna blame it on my perception.
come on.
We'll chalk that up as to I'm the only one that has experience fighting dragons. And I fucking passed it.
Shit.
Oh wait, I gotta turn this thing. It went in the wrong place. Oh wait. How do you turn
I'm
it?
fine eating it and you not hitting the entire party. Like, I'll make that save for you.
But how do you turn the templates?
I left shift and rotate, or control and rotate.
No, it won't move.
It's either
It.
control or it's alt. It's one of the two.
Control.
The fuck did I just
You have to go on the
Got it.
square, right?
Got it.
stunk in a mother lover.
I don't know why it made two of them though. That's weird.
That's all right. So everyone who makes their saving throw is going to take half. Everyone who doesn't is going to take full.
Oh my god! What
So,
the fuck?
35 for full and what's that? 17 for half or 18 for half?
17.
17 for
Or
half.
health.
I don't even know where the hell I am.
I have 10.
That was 35 points of
Oh,
damage.
fuck me.
I am down to 16, boys and girls.
I'm on 4.
I'm on 5.
Like,
And then it leaps up into the air and it flies up onto the roof of this building
nothing like
and
TPK,
lands.
right?
Huh?
I don't know. My character randomly disappeared.
You randomly disappeared?
I'm not even on combat order anymore.
What the heck?
Oh, damn.
What the hell?
And your dragon just... Oh, he flew away. That's why.
That's why.
I was like,
Hang on, I'll bring you back onto the board. And do you remember what your initiative number was? Where were you beside Val?
Between the two dead shadows and the one...
There you
well,
go.
the one alive shadow. Oh, you mean character-wise?
Yeah.
I was over here.
All right.
I can't move myself either.
What's going on? I told you this thing's being weird tonight.
I mean, I can move
Drop
other
you
people.
into combat.
Because I'm not... I don't know.
Sorry.
That's good enough because the other shadows are dead.
Okay.
I mean, the other shadows are dead, and you were after Utopia, right?
Yeah.
And but before the last shadow that's alive. So,
Yep.
and can you move yourself yet?
No. I can't even pick up and drag. You keep it going. I can throw myself on there at some point.
All right, no problem. So that is on.
Try it now.
Try what now?
No.
Because I had you selected on my end.
No, I can't move me at all. I can move everyone else.
Aom, you're up.
Alright.
Yeah, I can't move myself.
Okay. So, the dragon is on top of the building?
Yes.
Okay. How high is the building?
It is 2 stories tall, so it would be a grand total of roughly 20 feet to reach the apex of the roof.
Shit.
You're just gonna waste your movement.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna use Hand of Healing on Utopia.
No.
I got you. Maybe. I don't.
Thank you.
3.
It's the magic number.
All right, and what else are you doing, sir?
You know, I'm just gonna move slightly out of the pack.
There is you can still go into the house too, by the way.
That's true.
What is?
Okay. You know what?
How do we get rid of those templates?
Right here.
Templates I can easily do.
Why wasn't it letting me get rid of them?
Stop poking me. I don't know, chat. Alright, permanently delete all measured templates. So the templates are gone. I still can't move.
Interesting. I can highlight you. I can bring up your character sheet.
So I can throw one on that I move. Can you
All right,
delete
I'll
that
just delete it.
template?
Hang on.
That's 2 of me.
It's
yeah,
not-
I think it's glitched.
I can't even delete it now.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything with it.
Bet, we
Look
get
at my
2
character.
Sugashes, we win.
Yep.
Auto
Good
win.
shit.
No take backsies.
Did you just take yourself out of the initiative thing?
I removed that one and I added the other one. And cool. I'm back where I needed to be.
And that's my turn. I'm just gonna chill there.
Okay, cool. All right, so that was on Aeon's turn. Utopia, you're up.
Can I just hide this guy? No.
I know I can't touch him, move him, do anything. Oh, give me
He
one.
doesn't exist. Oh, I can't even kill him.
Hang on a second. Let me F5. You're all gonna have to refresh after I do.
Oh, okay.
Remind me again, what is his name?
Iranthor.
Iranthor. Or Iranthor.
Iranthor.
IYRAN.
Oh.
Yeah. IYRANTHOR. Oh man.
Nope.
Everything is locked up.
Yeah, do you refresh? A refresh takes a minute.
Iranthor. Iranthor.
Oh, I'm ready for bed.
I know.
Same.
Don't worry, we're not going to complete the combat tonight.
Oh, I'm just.
I was like, that's a shame. I wanted my, Death Dragon armor.
I know, right? Like, yeah, we can definitely make that fucking
Dude,
happen.
it rolled combat way back when I refreshed. Like, Iranthor was still on the roof of the other building.
Oh.
We are having some issues with our...
Yay, I get all my health back.
You get all my health back.
It still has all of the, it still has all of the rolls, though. For
Yep.
the breath and everything like that.
Yep, I see the 35 necrotic damage up there.
Aw, man.
Aw, man!
Can't have shit.
I can't have anything
I
nice!
can't have my strength, I can't have my health.
That's some bullshit.
Every time strength drain works, you lose one of your abs.
One of your abs. What are you doing, Utopia?
Just one.
Utopia, what are you doing?
Well, before you refreshed, this shadow was like right next to me, so I was gonna swing at it.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay, that's
Oops.
amazing.
Oh,
I
fuck.
saw our,
We moved
I
each
saw
other
our
towards
name
each
on
other.
But
Twitch.
become one with the
Oh, no.
shadow.
Oh wait, I gotta target it first. Don't want to swing at nothing.
RJ's yawn in Twitch made me yawn. But it was like a long time ago.
RJ is time traveling to make you sleepy.
Okay.
You definitely hit. 5 points of damage.
Yup. And then I get to hit again.
And you get to swing again, yes, ma'am.
Swing again.
Oh, hi, kitty.
Gonna
Hi, kitty.
swing.
Where'd you come from?
Gonna swing.
Oh, yeah. It obliterates.
Nice.
It is just completely destroyed. So that shadow's dead. All the shadows are now the dead. Well, they were already dead, but you know what I mean.
dead.
So are you going to move, Utopia?
You know what? Yeah. Oh shoot! No, I had the wrong thing. Wait, no. I don't want to target myself. I'm gonna move over here. I just
Alright.
want to spread out a little bit more.
Don't like that whole cone of death?
No, no, I don't.
Gotcha. All right, so that is the end of Utopia's turn? Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Sugash.
Wow, so how far away is that dragon?
It is on the roof, and it is over here. So from you, it is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet away. However, it is over the crest of the roof, so you would have to find a way to get up high enough to get line of sight.
Is it flying above the crest?
No, it landed on the
Can I
roof.
see it?
Make me a perception check. Because it is big enough to where like you might be able to see parts of it sticking off. So if it's a saving throw based spell, it would have a chance of affecting it still.
I will back up if that'll help me see it better.
I hit it with the guiding bolt, so does
That's true. Whoever has a glow around it.
Yeah, it has a glow around it, so everybody should be able to see it, and you have advantage on any attacks made against it.
Nice.
So do I actually need to back up to have line of sight? I don't know how tall the roof is comparatively. Or...
It's like I said, 20 feet. So from where you are at,
So probably back to
10 feet.
here.
Yeah, about that. That's good.
Awesome. And I'm target.
Target.
Target when I can't see.
That
24.
definitely hits. Woo! Chill touch. Interesting choice.
It only takes 5.
You know.
But it also can't regenerate hit points.
Yep.
That's correct.
And I bypass necrotic immunity, so it takes the full.
Yes, you do.
Nice.
Alright, so
I love undead.
that is Sugash's turn. We are over to Val.
Alright. Val will back up just enough to where he can. Well, I mean, he doesn't really need line of sight, but he'll kind of hang out here.
Okay.
And then Valentine will say, or will like narrow his eyes will go jet black. Stop me if you've heard this one. What's the difference between a dragon and a mallard with a cold? One's a sick duck, and I forget the punchline, but your mother's a whore. And I cast Infinite Whispers on it.
Oh my god.
And that is a wisdom saving throw?
I forget the
Yeah.
punchline. There's a hole.
Oh,
Sure is.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Okay, so it's a normal save and throw. There you go. It rolled a 20.
Wow.
Oh,
The
man.
total of 20.
It will still take the half damage.
Yes.
The damage roll. Come on, man. The damage roll. So, 4 psychic damage.
4 of psychic. There it is. All right. And after Val,
I
Go ahead.
will use my bonus action
uh-huh.
to look at Sugash and I will whisper, "Let the lion out! Let the lion out! Bring the lion out! Bring the lion out!" And give him bardic inspiration.
Dun dun dun. All right. So now it is over to Grumpak.
If you are so mighty, why must you hide on the building?
Is that?
That's to the dragon.
I know.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. And I can't see him to target him.
He's south again. You can see his token kind of like where my mouse is. Or can you not?
No, his token's over here where my mouse is.
I have him south. That's how I targeted. Right here.
He's right on top of this building.
Interesting. But I mean, that's, I see his token like right here, though.
Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm scared to refresh again because things are getting weird.
Okay.
So are you not?
Do you see anything moving?
Yeah,
I see him.
cool. He's
He's
targeted.
to the south, right?
No, that's now he is.
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't drag him. I just pushed up twice. So he was down there to begin with.
No, that was the one that he pulled out of the building, the main building.
Yep. It's weird, man. This thing's acting weird tonight. All right, can you target him now?
Yeah, he's targeted.
All right, so let me go. I'm gonna put him back to where he belongs. Oh, what's going on? My computer just went, fuck you.
Yeah, he moved for me.
Okay, so
Yeah, oh, encoding is overloading again.
wham.
That's weird.
Spirit Guardians? But that's centered on you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
But
That's
it's
such a cool effect.
It's a trigger.
It's disco!
Because my ancestors that spawn in around me
Mm-hmm.
are all decked out in dragon scale and dragon bone plate.
He's taunting.
Yes.
Ah.
Essentially, it's come to me. Let me show you what my clan does.
Gotcha,
For kind in honorable combat.
Excellent. So, what we're going to do is, because it is past 10, and I know that at the very least, Utopia has to get up early because she's got things she has to do. We're going to stop on the begin. We're going to start on the beginning of round 2 next week as we conclude the battle against Iranthor. And we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up, and we're going to see what type of effects the Grandpa's taunting is going to have upon him, as he is going to look over the edge of the roof and see what you have summoned. And so we will see all that next week. But in the meantime...
GG's.
Thank you very much.
GG's indeed.
I love this effect.
Let's see what we can find for...
Disco spirits.
Disco spirits.
I love the vision of Grompog just standing there with his halberd, and he erupts in light, and he just basically gets 4 orcs as tall as he is, and bone plate and fucking dragon scale armor just sitting there around him like, come on, just come on.
All doing the hustle.
You will be the first to fall in my path, and I will harvest from you everything.
Yeah.
So that we may use it again.
So if you guys want, make sure you follow us here, because when we hit 100 on YouTube, we're going to give away one of these box sets. When we hit 1,000 here, we're going to give away another one. And do not forget, you can find our links in Linktree for our YouTube link. If you guys want to follow Sphinx and his content, he has many things that are on hold this week because of the amazing and the absolute Gen Con Gen Con that's happening. But next week they will be up in production again, and go ahead and check out his information. If you want to follow Milagros, you may find Milagros here, and your content is going to be a little slow right now. School is very hard.
Yeah.
But she will be producing again soon, we swear. And her content on organization for novel writing is absolutely freaking amazing. So be sure to go check that out. You're welcome. Make sure you go check out Rob on TikTok. And Rob, we still need to set up a link tree or something for the lab, so we can add them onto this. So
I have it. We're all working on setting that up.
No problem. Yeah, excellent. And so, because Rob is a member of the cast of the Lab Experiments in Gaming, and they do amazing work bringing forth lesser-known game systems, and especially game systems that have been created by marginalized authors and creators, and they do a great job of showing those off to the world and really getting some great content out there while doing it. So be sure to check them out. Huh?
You should be our PR guy.
I was for a while.
You were.
And don't forget, if you want to catch two men who are very, very grumpy and like to shoot people in the face, go check out OA and watch RJ and Rome terrorize people other than me. And it is just as entertaining, so please go do that. And make sure that you show them some love. Go give them a follow. Remember, no matter what, the biggest thing you can do for us as content creators is follow our work. Everything else is gravy. Everything else is bonus. If you just follow our work, we are so grateful for that. You cannot even begin to imagine. So speaking of that, why don't we go out and give someone else a follow? Let's see who we can raid. Who's out there right now? Does anyone have anyone that they would love to raid right to the hell now?
The problem is all my friends don't do D&D. They do random shit. But
Looks
yeah,
like the adventure arc is
Arc
going right
is
now.
on. Arc is on doing Dark Kingdoms.
And while you're searching, me and Rome also play with Dungeons and Dumbasses TV here on Twitch.
Yep.
So we've been MIA. We might be running tomorrow. We might not. But that is typically Thursday nights.
Gotcha. Excellent. That's the Adventure Archive is what you said?
Adventure Archives is running right now. If you're talking about what RJ was talking about, it's Dungeons and Dumbasses.
Gotcha. But they're not running right now.
We're doing a Pandelver campaign.
Gotcha. Oh, cool. All right, so we're going to go raid the Adventure Archive. We've raided them before. They're friends of the show. Give them a follow if you have not followed them yet. Let them know Dinner and a Game sent you. Give them lots of love. And we thank you all for being here with us. We thank you all for joining in with us tonight. Be back next week for the continuation of this fight. And we will see you next time. Remember, at Dinner and a Game, we always save you a seat at the table. Go out there, be safe, wear a mask, be careful. Make sure you can come back and join us next time. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, now my Twitch is messing up.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
I swear to God, I didn't. Oh, it worked! Woo! Wait.
Nice.
Did it work? Or did it just go away? It just went away. I'm gonna try it again.
I mean, I still see us on I mostly see Milagros right now.
I know, Milagros' camera went kapow!
What did I do?
You didn't do anything. OBS.
It's my birthday, that's why.
You're like 60% of the screen.
Yeah.
It's my birthday, that's why.
But you're also behind everybody, so you've just got little boxes of our faces across the screen.
Yeah.
Alright, there we go. We're good.
Sweet.
The music started again, so I forgot we were leaving.
Ha.
I know, right?
Alright, guys. Thank you so